What's up, guys? Epic Eric in the house. How are you, man?
I'm back on it, man. Coming
It's-
to you from the Outer Banks. I'm getting a little salty.
You're still down
Freaking
there.
Angry elf intro. What?
Yeah, you like that?
That's crazy.
Who bites the head of it? I had to throw that in there.
Oh my! I wonder how many people have seen that.
Man, we got a bunch of people already watching here. Let's set a record tonight, guys. First of all, I want to apologize for last week's Sunday's impromptu live. I don't think Eric even knew about this. So I was talking to Brian the Carpenter. He was on Instagram Live, and he talked me into doing it. And so we had a few cocktails. It was Sunday evening late, and nothing was going right. So I shut the thing down, and we went to Instagram Live instead, which doesn't have the following, apparently, as this platform. But it was still good. A lot of topics you may not want to have been a part of, Eric.
Okay.
Fair enough. But it was fun. So what are you doing? You been catching some sea trout down there, or what? You fishing off the piers?
Yeah, piers, little bridge, man. A little salty. You know, been out on a boat with Scooter and the family, man. We speckled trout, catching flounder, puppy drum, Spanish mackerel, bluefish. Killing it, man. Killing it. It's been good.
Awesome.
It's been very good.
When are you coming back to reality?
I may never come back to reality.
No?
Yeah, I think just gonna leave it all behind, man.
So I'm trying to
hang down here.
So funny story. I'm trying to get up to Lake Ontario, St. Lawrence River. I leave. Well, I was supposed to leave tomorrow. Something came up, something drastic that I have to deal with tomorrow. So unfortunately, I will get there hopefully by Friday, Saturday. I don't even know what today is, but I start my.
It's Thursday.
Okay.
No, it's Wednesday, man. I'm messing with you.
Okay. Hopefully I get up there by the weekend. I got a lot of fishing to do. We got guide trips going on up there constantly. Catching some big smallmouth. But dang, dude.
I'm moving my camera wrong way.
You're good. You're good. We got a lot going on. I invited you up. You can't seem to commit to anything quite yet. But we hope to get you up there.
Waiting on the tournament schedule, man.
Okay.
Everything's been delayed, dude.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a rough
It's
season
no
when
bueno.
it comes to tournaments.
It's no bueno, man.
Once you get that figured out, then you can commit to some dates to perhaps come on up there and hang up in the North Country with me. I can't wait.
Of tournaments, man. How'd you and BTC do, man? Did you get the consolation prize?
Yeah. So Brian the Carpenter and myself fished the tournament last week Saturday on the Chesapeake Bay, the Chester County Open. I went out. I had guide trips all week. We did fairly well, but Thursday I went out by myself, and I found something real special. A 50-yard stretch, and I was throwing a pop-bar, and we caught some really nice fish. And I knew they were living there, but I was a little nervous. There's about a boat 400 yards away. And I'm like, you know what? Why keep dealing with it? I wanted to kind of get... It's a new area that I haven't fished before. It's definitely way out of the way. And I'm like, nobody's going to be here. Well, maybe a few people. Come tournament day, there's a local. And there's not a lot of locals that fish out there on the flats. Like not a local bass boat, but just a local... kind of a smaller boat with a, old Mariner 60 horse on the back, and they were just chucking chatterbaits, dude, and wrecking them as I pulled up. And I'm looking at my waypoint, and I'm like, oh, they're right on it. And I'm positioning myself in there, and who do I see off to the left? Mike Iaconelli coming full bore, setting down right in the juice. So now there's 3 people fishing this 50-yard stretch. And we stuck it out all day, and we came away with 17 and a half, 18 pounds. What we've been doing this year. Got the first out of the money bag of tungstens or whatever they give away.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a good time. I had a blast. That video is going to be up probably next week, and I also have my 2020 Nitro Z21 video that I'll be posting. And then from here on out, guys, it's nothing but big smallmouth. Because we're done with the grass, we're done with the Susquehanna Flats, we're done with the Chesapeake Bay until September. So super excited about that.
We're going back to your roots, man.
Yeah.
You can go catch some 20-pound bags.
I can't wait.
You going to fish a derby when you're up there?
Yes, actually, July 11th, the ABA. I'm thinking about signing up for that event too. So
you got to get a W, man. You need a W.
I'm due. Hey guys, don't forget to like and share this. We're trying to. I know this was I sucked at advertising this one here. I've been so busy. Anyways, I gotta go tuna fishing tomorrow. I gotta be at Jack's house at 2:30 in the morning, dude. And I'm supposed to be going up to the St. Lawrence River. So how did that happen? A half hour ago, I get the call. Hey, Adrian Avina's going offshore. You want to come out tuna fishing? I guess. Why not? So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. Then I'm going to get up to Lake Ontario. But first, we got to get through the night. We got to get through the show. We got some special guests tonight. I got the owner, Rick from MonsterBass, as well as YouTube sensation, Alex. Alex is on too. Let's bring these guys in. There's Rick, and there's Alex. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
I have to say, I've never been called a sensation. It kind of makes me feel special.
Oh, come on, man. You got it right.
Sensation.
I felt a little tickle down there when he called me a sensation. I like that. That was all right there.
Man. So Alex, you've been at it a while, right?
Yeah, about 4 or 5 years now.
As far as YouTube, I mean, it's kind of the same boat as myself. Just in case people don't know, what part of the country are you from? What's the name of your YouTube channel? Let's get all that out of the way. Some of the different places that you fish on a regular basis. We'd love to hear a little bit of background about yourself. And then I want to head out and talk to Rick a little bit about MonsterBass and the organization that he's got taking off right now like crazy. So I want to hear all about that, and then we'll talk. We'll do a lot of fishing talk later tonight.
Heck yeah. So yeah, my name is Alex Rudd. My YouTube channel, all my social media is under Alex Rudd Fishing. I'm in East Tennessee, so Knoxville area, and that puts me smack dab in the middle of everything good, right?
Nice.
2 hours from Chickamauga, 45 minutes from Watts Bar. I got Douglas, Fort Loudoun, Cherokee, you name it. All these places that have been known to produce big bags, bring in big tournaments. I'm close to all that stuff. And so what's cool about that is I'm able to, go down to like chick and frog and ledge fish and do all that kind of stuff, fish the grass, do all the big fish stuff. And then I can go up to Cherokee and fish a Ned rig in 25 foot of water, or go to Norris and fish a whopper plopper around docks. It's pick your poison, where I'm from. And so, as long as I can remember, I've been fishing. Literally one of my first memories is going fishing with my dad and learning how to cast a bait caster and do all that kind of stuff. And so I just have been cutting my teeth since as long as I can remember, just trying to find the biggest bass that I can.
What is your favorite lake? I guess what would be your home body of water, and then what would be your favorite body of water down there?
So home body of water, I get this asked all the time. Home body of water technically closest to me is Norris Lake. It's like 10 minutes from my house, so that's technically home body of water. Mm-hmm. My favorite body of water, though, is going to have to be Watts Bar. Dude, Watts Bar it's a gym. It's one of those deals that, you got Chickamauga right below it, and then from Chick, you got Nickajack and Gunnersville, right? And so a lot of people, they just blow Watts Bar off. But what a lot of people don't realize is Watts Bar is the biggest lake in Tennessee. And there is grass, there's rock, there's sand, there's everything that you can want in this lake, right? You've got 3 rivers that flow into it that all converge into the main lake. And you can go catch 25-pound bags of largemouth or 25-pound bags of smallmouth. It's just whatever.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
and
dude.
You've got legendary crankbait makers in your region, man.
Dude,
how about that?
Do. Yeah, man, and that's one thing, and we'll obviously probably get into this more as we get into the night, but I'm a crankbait throwing fiend, dude.
What?
I love throwing crankbaits, and it's because it's where I live, dude. Highland Reservoirs, like you say, these legendary crankbait makers, balsa makers, these dudes that are making crankbaits that no one else is making, and making crankbaits that, even the Japanese guys, we covered all the Japanese stuff, right? So
we're sending them overseas, man.
Exactly.
All those baits are coming from America, brother.
Exactly, dude. And so, I actually know some guys. They own a company called Mimic Lures. My dad helped to make one of their first, sold them one of their first CNC machines that they made first. Yeah. So I know Stacy. My dad's real good friends with him, and so I grew up around that kind of culture of that bait making culture, right, and that cranking culture. And dude, if you don't got 3 cranking rods in your boat where I live,
that's what I'm talking about.
You're an idiot. You know what I mean? You just crank. I mean, we crank all the time, dude.
You're talking my language right now, man. I can't wait to dive into that. We'll do a deep crankbait dive. We might have to do a whole special show on legendary East Tennessee crankbait makers.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
I'm down. That'd be wicked.
Me too.
We got to do that when we get you back in the studio, Eric, because
oh yeah,
you know,
I've got my mimic box. I got 2 boxes of mimics.
Yeah.
There you go. That's wicked, dude.
Oh, absolutely, man. Craig Powers. I'm talking Mike Estep. I'll go deep with you on that, man. Marty Burns.
Awesome.
I mean, there's a bunch of them out there.
That's awesome, dude.
All right, we're gonna get into all that. I know, Alex and Rick. We got a bunch of people watching. Can you guys see comments at all?
Yeah, I got it pulled up.
Okay, well, they're running through here. If you guys have any questions, definitely. I know Eric's a better moderator at times than myself, but I'm gonna try to catch a few. I'm gonna look at the questions here and get them up here. So we can. Yeah, we got the. Of course, Sean's on. Who else we got here? We got the whole game with us tonight. But Rick, let's talk a little bit about MonsterBass. Like, man,
Yeah.
it's been what, about a year and a half now?
No, just a year.
Just a year. Okay. Okay.
We launched on June 1st.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Whew.
It's been crazy.
So you actually grew up in upstate New York, right? That's where you're originally from, or you spent some time there?
Yeah. Yeah, so my home lake would be Oneida Lake.
Ah.
And I grew up as a kid fishing Oneida Lake, and I look forward to going back because I'm still on the hunt for the elusive walleye. As a kid, I'm probably the only kid in upstate New York that's gone fishing that's never caught a walleye in his life.
Oh, jeez.
I'm the worst.
What the heck?
The worst.
Oh, wow.
Is that the next company you're launching? Monster Walleye Box. You just got to do a special run for it, man. And you got to fish every lure until you catch a walleye.
I'll just throw in all the leftover bass lures in the box and see who's buying.
And see what happens.
Right?
Oh, so take us across the journey, like how you came to this point, Rick. I know you've been with other companies in the past. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that. I'd love to hear the history. I know a lot of us would. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. So these guys showed up at my door one day. I worked at an agency, and they had like a whack ton of money, and they wanted to build this website for fishing reports. And at the time, I was like, this is the dumbest idea ever. I'm like, wait a minute, you're going to charge a subscription. You're going to make people pay for fishing reports. And I said, I did a quick Google search, and within, 30 seconds, I found free fishing reports everywhere. And they want to spend like a couple $100,000. And I was like, listen, I'm a big believer in karma. I can't take your money. Here's 3 other agencies. But I kept thinking about it. And this is like, 7 years ago when Bassmaster was owned by ESPN. And, if you gave my brother one day left on this planet, you throw in a dip, go to Bass Pro Shops, get his stuff, and he'd hit the water. And it kept bothering me that I was like, fishing? Why did all these guys, why do they want to spend so much money on fishing reports? And so that was the year that the Bassmaster Classic was down on the Red River. Or no. It was down in New Orleans, and it had all the fog, right? So it had all the fog, and I decided I'm going to go because I couldn't stop thinking about it. So go to it. I'm like, what the hell is this about? Like the Super Bowl of bass fishing. Like I had no idea, right? Like I fished as a kid. That was it. But I didn't grow up watching any of the guys on TV. That just wasn't my thing. So I go to this thing, and I'm sitting in the arena, and it's like the WWF, right? Like fireworks going off, people with signs, and I'm watching like dudes driving around in their pickup trucks holding around little 4-pound, 5-pound bass. I'm like, what is going on? And then I watch the magic happen, right? The first guy gets up, and this is how I would have described it back when I first started because I knew nothing. The guy would go, he'd be like, it was really foggy today, and if it wasn't for that Triton radar system, I wouldn't have been able to find my way. And then the next guy would get up, and he'd talk about, I didn't have one of them Triton radar systems, but I followed him, and I watched as every guy in the crowd was like, baby, I need one of them Triton radar systems. Father's Day, I get one of them. And I just watched the crowd, and I was like, wow, this is magic. Like, we got double wide trailers with $60,000 bass boats in their driveway, and they're going to spend their last penny on this Triton radar system. And so I went back to Los Angeles. I sat there at my desk and I was like, wow, I let these guys go. That was a lot of money I told to go to another agency. So I called them up and I was like, listen, I don't know about your idea, but I got another idea. And that's when we I came up with this idea for Lucky Tackle Box.
Wow.
And because the monthly subscription boxes were really popular. And they said no. And I was like, all right, well, fine.
What?
6 months later, Tackle Box grab launch. I call the guy up and I'm like, see, somebody else beat us to it. Now we got to jump on this and do it now. Fund it for me. Give me a piece of it and I'll build it for you. So I built it for him to the point where it was like, we were the number 2 box. We were doing like 50,000 boxes a month. I mean, that's a lot of money. 50,000 times 25 is a lot of boxes. Mm-hmm. And at the time we were doing exactly like Mystery. It was just like a bait of the month club. Sign up, get your stuff, away it went. And for 4 years, that was it. I wore a Lucky Tackle Box T-shirt every day. I was the guy behind the scenes orchestrating everything, and our thing was, we were trying to be a little bit different. We wanted to actually show you how to use the baits, right? So I would work with guys like Alex, who would, they'd make videos, focus on things like rigging, retrieval, location, and try to educate you on how to use the baits. And this worked well for about 4 years. And then they asked me for a business plan on how we were going to grow the company the following year. And I gave him the plan, and he looked at it and he's like, I think we need to make more money. I was like, all right. So I went on vacation. I went to my parents' lake house. They have a lake house on Chautauqua Lake. And I'll never forget it. I had gone out that morning on a charter on Erie, and I get a phone call, and the website doesn't work. And they're like all panicking. What do we do? And I'm like, let me log in and fix it. Can't fix it. And I finally make the boat drive me in. I go back to the house, and all of a sudden the phone rings, and it's the guy who funded the company. He goes, we're going to go in a different direction. We're going to let you go. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I run every aspect of this company except for the finance department. Like, how are you going to do this? And he told me, and his plan was, we're going to follow in the footsteps of Mystery Tackle Box, and we're just going to produce 20 brands. We're going to come out with Corona baits. We're going to come out with purely Sedona tackle, and we're gonna turn this into a $10 crankbait, and they're literally going to call factories and just be like, give me a crankbait, a buzz bait, throw these brands on them, and then tell everyone that they're $9, and they're going to rip off the consumer. I just couldn't do it, and so that was where we came to the impasse. I couldn't in good faith and good conscience sit and look at a consumer and send them a box full of stuff, tell them it was worth $50 when it took one Skype phone call and $4.80 to produce a box full of garbage. Mm-hmm. And so, that was it. My days at Lucky Tackle Box were over. I had to burn all my T-shirts because I wore Lucky Tackle Box T-shirts every single day, And then they decided not to pay me. They owed me a lot of money because I funded a good portion of it. And we're not talking about a little bit. We're talking about 6 figures, and we're not talking about 1. We're not talking about 2. We're talking in the 3 range. And this guy decides he's not going to pay me.
No.
What I then learned to find out is he's not paying anybody. He's not paying any of the vendors. Took like all the brands you know of, and all the little mom and pop shops like Deep Creek Lures. He took them for a ride, never paid them either.
No way. That's brutal.
Right? And so for me, I was thinking like, oh my God, this is like my life savings. Mm-hmm. So I sent my son, I have a great relationship with my ex-wife, and so I sent my son Maximus over to her house, and I got drunk in the backyard for 3-4 days. Like I was drinking out of the bottle. And
what the hell?
I did a lot of crying. I did a lot of I was so I can't believe this happened. And then after the 3-4 days, I was like, all right, what am I going to do? So I wrote a business plan. I went and I raised a bunch of money, and I said, well, if he's not going to pay me, I'm gonna go and take all his customers. I'm just gonna come out with a better product.
Boom.
And take them to town. So that's how MonsterBass was birthed. And
what a great story.
Yeah, I'd never had any plan to build it, and and it was just something that happened out of necessity because I had been wronged, and I needed to right the situation, so to speak.
That's extraordinary. So it's a side question, but what agency were you with?
I was with a digital agency. Okay. So I was with one called Ocean, and then I was with another one that we started. We started an agency, grew to about 60 employees. Then we sold it to a firm in Boston.
Yeah.
And, so it was so random.
I wanted to be a madman at one point, man. That was my major in college at the University of Maryland, man. Yeah. My dad was a madman growing up, so I grew up around an agency.
Nice.
Back in the day, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, much respect. That's a hard-working crew right there, for sure. You got to work with your hair on fire.
Yeah, for sure. And so then I said, what am I going to do? Like, I've been an entrepreneur for 8-9 years. I wasn't going to go back to the corporate world. I was wearing a T-shirt and shorts and flip-flops every day. I was like, screw that. So I just said, all right, what's wrong with the original plan? Let's go back to the plan I had presented. And the plan that I had presented was, it's okay to produce one brand of baits. You can't produce 10. You just can't go to the factory in China and be like, give me a buzz bait, a crankbait, a spinnerbait. It just doesn't work that way. I mean, actually what I've learned is there are so many brands that actually just do that. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
But so, I said we're going to produce one brand and we're going to have a better box. Instead of just sending everyone random stuff, we're going to break the country into regions. And we're going to do our best to send regionally appropriate and seasonally appropriate baits to those people and then show them how to use them, right?
It's a great business plan. It really is, man.
And even if you do it wrong, at least we're trying. And we're doing better than the competition because they just throw in anything that you want. Mm-hmm. And so I signed up. I signed up for every competitor's box. And there's a lot of them. There's one that is like, I think they have 14 boxes a month. And
what?
Yeah, probably. I don't really know. but like literally,
I'm gonna smear their name either way. Is what Rick's saying.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'll second whatever Rick says. Just know that.
But I was getting, I'd sent it to my mom's house in New York, and in the middle of winter, she's getting frogs and I'm thinking to myself, this doesn't really make any sense. So
no, you need time to boil those frogs to make them soft. It takes a long time to soften them up.
Yeah, I got to call your brother up and see what recipe he's got for it.
What the heck?
So we just came up with this idea of let's partner with brands, be really strategic about the brands we work with. Let's do our best to send baits that are specific to the places you love to fish at the time of year you're fishing. And, it's a little bit of effort, but I feel like it's a much better spend for your money. And then rather than just send you a box full of made up brands, we partner with the best brands in the business.
Yeah.
And that makes a difference.
No, a lot of good comments coming in, Rick, about MonsterBass, best box in the business. I mean,
one of my favorite boxes, and you guys have done some things interesting too, as far as with major brands such as the Strike King Takeover, things like that. I know you work with Jason Christie as far as getting baits that he recommends, things like that. So what the pros are using, that was really cool because I was able to do a video on that where we caught a smallmouth. This was just a couple months ago, although it feels like forever ago now. Where I was able to catch a smallmouth on every lure in that box up on the St. Lawrence River with Will. So that was pretty cool. It was challenging. There was a chatterbait in there.
Sure.
That was awesome, but I'd never had experience with it because I'm always throwing the Z-Man. And what was it called? The Strike King? Is it the Cricket, right?
The Thunder Cricket. Yeah.
Thunder Cricket. And I was so intrigued by that thing, but I worked hard to catch a fish on that one last bait because just conditions weren't right. But I wanted to be that dude that caught a fish on every single one during that day. And what's neat about the box too is if you're not, you might be you might be like me, set in your own ways. Continue using the same type of baits. And what's nice about this is you might get something that be like, I didn't really think about that before. Now I got it. Maybe I should try it. And so you'll find a lot of gems like that too, where I'm guilty of it. I know, if I'm throwing, right, I got my own little deals, and I think there's a lot of people that are that way too. But there's a lot of people that also like a variety of different baits that they get in the box, different regions, right? I know, Eric, you're throwing all kinds of crazy stuff. You've experimented with a lot of baits in your life, dude. I know that.
I plumb the depths, man, for sure. That's my jam.
That's the fun part of it. Rick, what would you say? So. The last you've been in business now a full year. As far as goals for the company, have you reached a lot of them? Are you excited for the future? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not excited at all.
Not with what's going on right now.
Yeah, no, I think for our first year, I think we did a pretty good job of reaching some of the goals that we put in place. I think for the next, if you look at the next 3 years, I think we're going to develop one line of baits. Obviously, I only want one because I never realized how hard it is. Like, it's really hard, and I want to, I'd love to see those baits carried in every major retailer across the country. I'd like to see us, this year we're going to roll out with, we will have an offering for ice fishing, and I think you'll see us roll. The parent company of MonsterBass is a company called Outdoor Playground, and I did that because, when I was in the agency world, I spent a lot of time going to the outdoor retailer shows. And the cool thing about, I was always in the corporate world. The first time I worked in the fishing space, the one thing I noticed was it's just all good people, man. It's just like everybody's good. They just want to have a good time. They just want to enjoy life. And when I went to outdoor retailer, it was the same thing. And so, I can see us having more than one subscription box type. Probably not in fishing. We'll probably roll into a general sportsman. We've got another one that we're secretly trying to work on right now. And then really...
Teaser alert.
Yeah. Really, and then really focus on the e-commerce aspect of that. So, there's a lot of interesting things going on, and I'm excited for the ride. I mean, already in the first year, we've exceeded the expectations. I didn't really think that we would go from unknown to the number 2 player.
Wow. Congrats, man. That's outstanding.
Yeah, thanks. And, it feels pretty good. And, the cool thing, I think, we've done with some of the boxes, like you mentioned, we did the Strike King box, which was great. This month, we're doing one with Lunker Hunt. And my good friend John Goldfarb, the president of Lunker Hunt, when I first got into the industry, it was all about just meeting the right people and surrounding yourself with cool people that you want to sit down and have beers with. And the guys at Lunker Hunt are always great about that. And we started talking, and he's like, "I'll take over a box." And so starting today, we started shipping the new Lunker Hunt box. And the reason why I did that was I thought it would be cool to break up just the monotony of, just a surprise box every month and let brands take it over, let you learn about their bait making process, the things that they're doing to try and, reinvent and come up with a game changer, because, we go to ICAST, we hear about all the game changers, and it's like, oh, it's a crankbait with a lip that's a quarter of an inch longer, and it's a game changer. And,
hashtag game changer.
Yeah. But we don't hear. But how often do little baits like rabid baits come along? It's an interesting concept.
Sure.
And then you throw that in the box, and then people learn about it, and I think that's what's pretty cool about it. So
yeah. I was definitely that's one thing I was intrigued with, because I threw that in the fish tank to take a look at that, and that I don't know if it's marabou or what.
It's marabou.
Marabou on the plastic. But that was crazy. And even Lunker Hunt. Eric, was that the frog that you turned me on a couple years ago on the Potomac?
Yeah.
Was that the name brand?
Yeah.
So that frog is unreal.
No. That's a Savage Gear.
Oh, Savage. Yeah. Same.
Savage Gear. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
That's in the box next month.
Is it?
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
Travis employed the Savage Gear frog in his Top 3 finish on the Potomac.
First time ever. But now the Lunker has the what the hell is that? The Spider, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that got me fired up. I haven't been able to use it yet. Man, I can't get a fish to look up, but they will soon.
Yeah, and it's funny. The story behind that one was they gave their bait maker, their bait designer, a challenge. They're like, come up with something that's really unique, really interesting. And when he presented it, they all kind of laughed at him.
I bet.
And then he took it to the tank and showed them the movement, and they were all like, "Whoa, this is totally something a little different than we've seen." Never done the water, and sure, it just moves differently, and fish haven't seen something like that, so it worked.
Rick, I don't want to self-promote, but I've come up with a custom color that Travis must show right now because the audience is demanding it. It's the June bug crankbait.
So the June bug crankbait, it's a running. We have to show it on every live, and because Eric's not in the studio, I get to show the June bug crankbait special painted Sally Hansen fingernail polish by Epic Eric himself, and this is the
triple laminate. Laminate.
Yes, triple laminate. June bug crankbait. You never seen a June bug crankbait before. There it is.
What's the blank?
Just talk to me, man.
So
it's Excalibur.
That's the old Excalibur square bill.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
June bugged it up.
We might have to auction that off someday.
We're gonna have to feature those in the box.
Wow, shit.
There's 3 in the world. That would take me all year. Call me in the winter. I'll start now.
So Rick, you hit it on some of the things. Moving forward. Obviously, you're excited to. We had a question, a comment, and let me try to pull that up here.
Yeah. Where do you guys see these comments? I don't see anything.
They're out there.
They're on YouTube Live.
On YouTube Live.
Yeah, you got to sign into the YouTube Live and sign in under your name, and then you'll be able to participate in.
All right, so Jim goes, I'm just an old retired fart. Who is the largest target audience for these boxes? Are they like BFL guys, tournament guys? What is your? If you had I know that's kind of an open-ended question with a lot of different variables, but what would be your target market for the most part?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. My target market, what I thought it was and what it actually is, are 2 different things.
Okay.
Really?
When I sit back and I think about these boxes, I think about little kids and their allowance. And I think about, it's got to be, when I first did this, I was like, it's got to be the 16 to 25 crowd. It just has to be. And then you look at the analytics and you're like, wait a minute. That the under 25 crowd makes up the smallest percentage of my customer base.
That's incredible.
And for me, that was surprising. Now, part of it I think was the design, because the one thing we learned at Lucky when I was at Lucky was we came out with the same pricing model as Mystery Tackle Box. We did so because we didn't do any market research. We just said, well, they're already out there. Tackle Grab's already out there. Let's just do the same pricing. But what you've seen over time, so we came out with a $15 box just like everyone else. But what you've seen over time is Lucky's gotten rid of their $15 box. Mystery Tackle Box raised the price to like $24 or something. Like, they realized there's no money at the lower end of the market. So when we started MonsterBass, we came out at $35. And people were like, well, it's way too much money. Well, what we wanted to go after was the customer that had more disposable income.
Sure.
Because we want to charge a premium so we could put better baits in the box than everyone else, and so that we could so we could partner with better brands. So, so when you look at my crowd, I would say that my target market is honestly 35 to 50.
Wow.
It's way higher.
And let's be honest, like Travis and me, like our content that we create, we're appealing to the same audience, right?
Sure.
And what I always tell everybody about the MonsterBass box is that we are giving you tools to either broaden your tackle box or deepen your tackle box, right? So for all of us, just like you with that Savage Gear frog, if Eric had never showed it to you, you would never known about it. Mm-hmm. So what we're doing at MonsterBass is I'm taking what I know, Travis is taking what he knows, Ben's taking what he knows. We're talking to these pros, we're talking to these guys that know a lot more about fishing in any particular region than any other person does. And we're going, what's something you think we should feature in the box? And I go, well, I don't really want to tell everybody about this, but let's go Strike King Bullworm in Prism Shad. Give that to the Southern box. So then you go, okay, it's a more premium bait. It's something in a color that you may have never thrown before, but I can promise you I'm giving you a tool that works because I know it works for myself. And so we're appealing to an older audience, a more experienced audience, but we're still trying to broaden that tackle box and deepen that tackle box. That's what I tell everybody about MonsterBass.
Sure.
Broaden and deepen.
And I think people appreciate that regional knowledge, that regional focus, that proven, pattern or lure. I mean, and seasonality of it. It's spot on, man.
Yeah. I'm excited. So this is interesting. You might laugh at this one, Eric, but I got to share this story. So a couple of boxes ago, I got the,
Yep.
I should go grab it. I think it's in the boat ready to go because I'm going to try it out. But what's the hula popper, right? But now they have it on steroids, bro. They have it on like steroids, right? They beefed up the hook. They changed it. It's like the 2.0 version, dude. And I remember back in the late 90s, hanging out off the dock, dude. That's what you threw in the evenings right about now. You know what I mean?
Dude.
And they crushed it, even with
I promise you. You take that on the flats, dude, you will catch bigger bass. There's no question about it. It still works. Yeah. Why do we go away from the classics that are proven, time tested? It's so crazy. We get caught up in the new, but those we should just do a whole hula popper episode, man. Out on the flats when they start looking at. Well, you'll be in New York.
Well, you watch with iCast, with the virtual iCast next week. I'll make the prediction right now.
You're gonna sell it out.
With the success of the Hula Popper 2.0, you know that the Jitterbug 2.0 is be
oh my gosh,
better hooks. They'll paint it better, and they'll just relaunch it. They're totally going to.
Yes.
I got a great jitterbug story for you guys. So there's this guy that swears that if you throw a jitterbug on a Zebco 33, it creates a completely different action that none of us can duplicate with modern bait caster reels. And there's like a 2-week window on the James and Chickahominy River that you throw a black jitterbug on cypress knees and you will stroke them.
Okay.
I heard the story and it flipped me out. The guy took a ball peen hammer and he was trying to change it so he could use his regular bait cast equipment. This old guy, just black jitterbug, Zebco 33. All right, I'm buying a Zebco 33. I'm gonna try to get the rod that it was. I'm gonna throw it on the Zebco 33. You'll throw it on your bait caster, and if I outfish you 5-1, we're gonna look at each other, just laugh.
Fair enough.
Just throw your bait caster in the water and get.
I want all of that on video.
Right.
I want all of that on video. Right. I gotta see that.
That's the kind of stuff that I like to dive into. Are there little intricacies that make a difference? I've seen stories. Travis doesn't believe them, but wait till we do it.
I believe a few of them, man. Come on.
But that's the magic for me, man. That's awesome, Rick. Hey, Rick, I don't know if it's possible, but is there any way you could helicopter in the new tuna box? I didn't want to tell everybody that you're releasing one to Travis since he's going tuna fishing tomorrow.
Dude, I don't even know what they use for these things.
Dude.
All I know is I'm going to come back all bloody and shit, right? Like
you're totally going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might have been the 303. Sorry, guys. I called it the Zebco 33. John Henfish. It might have been.
I see that.
You've never been fishing before?
About 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, I went out. But these were for those big ass tunas where they strap you in a chair and it's like you fight for like 4 or 5 hours.
The big eye?
It sucked, dude.
Or the yellow?
It was the dumbest. That's not why I go fishing, to sit there and crank for hours. But apparently they're catching. No, they're catching like these 40 to 80 pound things on top water.
They're catching yellowfin.
I have no idea, bro. I'm just going.
Travis,
what?
What's the story? It's a yellowfin. Man.
Okay.
I promise you.
I don't get on the ocean that much, dude. I'm sorry.
It was big. It swam really fast, and he was in the middle of the ocean. Okay, let's keep moving.
I'm hoping I can catch some.
That's
some
Travis's
mahi.
explanation. It's like, okay, listen. It fought like hell. We were in the middle of the ocean, and I had a beer in my hand, and I was all good. So it came in a boat. And that's all that matters.
I didn't like
Did
sitting
you eat
there.
Sushi on the boat?
No.
No.
Oh, that's
sushi one up.
Nah, dude.
You got to try it with some soy sauce and wasabi.
So what were the ones where they strap you in a chair with a big reel and it takes hours? That's a big eye.
Are you gonna eat the tuna heart tomorrow?
No.
On camera for us all?
No.
Oh,
all I'm saying is, so you Can you help me out here? What are we catching tomorrow? Yellowfin? Yellowfin. Yeah.
Yes.
And they're fun.
Yeah, yellowfin.
Yeah, you don't have to sit in a chair for hours and hours battling with them.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I can't wait. I'll try to go live for a little bit.
Enjoy those diesel fumes, man.
Yes.
I hope it's calm for you, bro.
It'll be good. I can handle it, dude. Come on.
No, not me, man.
Yeah, I'm going tuna fishing at the end of September down in Venice, Louisiana.
Ah.
Oh, wow.
And that's in season down there. And oh my God, I'm just gonna fill coolers full of that stuff and bring it back.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the plan, to get some meat in the freezer before we head up north. And I'm excited. Nice. Oh shit! Well, what else? I mean, this was good. I love it. We got to talk a little bass fishing now. Rick, I don't know if you want to hang out with us. If you got stuff going on here.
No, I'm gonna hang out for a little bit. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
At some point.
If anybody's interested in getting a box, if they haven't tried it already, in the comments here, I'm gonna type in a discount code. Can we give our viewers a little something tonight if they want to participate? Sure. What would be a good code to type in?
Why don't we do save 15 and they can save $15 off their first box? They can get their first box for as little as $20.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. I'm gonna type that in.
Yeah. Travis Wise, that's right. They're shut in New York. That's why I'm staying here.
Oh.
Oh, really? No way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So.
How you getting in, Travis? By boat?
No. So, listen. First of all, I'll get in if I want to, and second of all, I'm not.
There's a true blue American. I love it.
PA is not a hot state yet, so I will get in there. I had clients, unfortunately, people that watch this show on a regular basis. They called yesterday. They're from Tennessee, and their state just popped up on the radar, I guess. So I had to cancel a trip for next week with them. I had a lot of cancellation, guys. I'm up to almost 8 cancellations now in the last 2 weeks. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That sucks, dude.
Sorry.
It's I don't even know, man. It's not even gonna be the same up there. You know, if I want to walk in the tackle store, I gotta cover my face. If I want to go have a drink, I don't even know. I don't even know what to expect up there. I'm just gonna focus.
And you can't fish the Canadian.
Yeah, and I can't even go into Canada. So 60% of my fishing up there is in Canadian waters. So I'm gonna learn the U.S. side really well this year. I'm gonna try to just stay happy. Okay. Like
that's a silver lining that you actually have to focus on.
Learn the U.S. side. I'm going to focus a lot on the trips I can't.
Pay dividends.
The trips I can't fill. I'm going to make a bunch of great videos. I'm going to work on my content and just try to focus on that. And but dude, I'm hurting inside. Like I'm so pissed off at what's going on in this country right now.
Easy,
I know
man.
We can't get in there.
Really, the karma, the energy's good in the show, man. Don't go there.
I know. I won't go there. I won't go there, dude.
But I want fishing tomorrow.
Okay. No, because listen, Eric, if we keep acting like everything's fine and great with our freaking mask on, it's not. Okay, eventually I'm gonna snap, bro, and it's not tonight. I'm not gonna do it, but I am close, dude.
Preach.
You already snapped, brother. Look, man, it's not a big deal. Wear your buff, and this is all you do, man. What's the big deal?
Sure,
come on, bro. I'm just gonna do the rest of the show like this just to show you it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Come on,
I don't know.
I've been walking in the stores down here like this. It's like 30 seconds, no big deal.
Okay. I'm not even gonna go there. Alex,
you already did. Yeah.
It's
great promotion, man. Wear your smallmouth crush buff.
Okay.
I could have been wearing the smallmouth crush buff. I just want to let everybody know. So I went fishing with Travis, and I said, "Hey, did you bring me my buffs?" And Travis goes, "No. Go to the website and order them like everybody else." And just to let you know, I don't get paid for what I do. I love what I do with Travis. I'm his sidekick, as he said tonight, to Rick. And, for me, I'm like, hey, man, can I just get a couple bucks to promote? And he goes, you go order them like everybody else.
Here's what,
so
and here's
I'm just
why.
like you guys, all the fans out there.
Okay, and just so you know, Eric, I just want to make this clear.
True or not.
Okay, guys. Now,
true or not.
Our regular viewers are going to know what's coming up here. We always get into little arguments during the show. Now listen, Eric.
What's Smallmouth Crush? It's a YouTube channel, man. I've been promoting
Okay.
You missed the opportunity.
Okay, I just want to share something. So at the end of our last trip, a week ago, Eric offered me some gas money. And I go, dude, I'm good. We're good. I go, just buy some fucking buffs.
It still doesn't make sense.
Because the inventory. Because I don't want cash. I don't want to give out in the back alley fucking buffs and merchandise, bro.
Gas money, I forgot. And
no.
You were kind of sore. So don't say that you found this little generous piece of your heart, bro. It is what it is. I just got to keep it real on the show. I don't have a smallmouth crush buff.
You'll get one. You'll get one.
So the question I gotta ask is, hey Travis, can I have a smallmouth crush buff?
I'll get you one, bro.
Get your ass to the website and buy it.
I'll get my ass to the website too.
So Alec, how about the YouTube game, man? We've both been in it about the same time. You know, we're trying, dude. It's a tricky thing, isn't it? Like, I don't think there's a secret because I paid big money. I paid $500 an hour consulting fees with one of the largest YouTube conglomerates out there to instruct me how to become a better YouTuber. And
was it worthwhile?
He's like, I'm like, what's the secret, dude? He's like, well, you're already, at this time I was like at 15,000. He's like, dude, you're already there. It's just consistency. Like, that's what he kept saying. And thumbnails and maybe a few other things to improve on. But I don't know if there is a secret, dude, except consistent and just keep doing what we're doing. But isn't it frustrating that you do a great video on how to fish a jig or something, something you're all jacked up with, and then you put a video up of you getting your ass booted out of a marina, you scream from some guy screaming on the shore, and that's what gets all your views and subscribers is that stupid video. Not the videos we think should get the views. So what is it? Is it entertainment or education or what?
I mean, dude, I'll be honest with you. I don't freaking know anymore. Here's what I've noticed about YouTube and the whole YouTube game in general. Right? You got all these dudes out here. You got the Guggen Squad. You got Lojo, which is, I guess he's part of the Guggen Squad now. You got my buddy TJ, Yak Pack. They're all doing this sensational content, right? And they'll tell you they're doing sensational content. I mean, I've had several conversations with them about it, where TJ literally says, dude, I'm doing clickbait sensational videos to get views. Well, the thing is, you're appealing to the 13 and under crowd. And let me tell you why I know that is for an absolute certain. Because I'm a 5th grade teacher. My 5th graders come in and they say, Mr. Rudd, I found you on YouTube. I was like, oh, that's awesome. They're like, but your videos aren't as good as XYZ.
Right.
And, they're kids, dude. I mean, they're the most brutally honest little people in the world. And, so I'm like, well, why is my video not good enough? And they're like, well, you didn't go and do the gummy bear challenge, or you didn't go and do this, you didn't go and do that. And so I really believe, dude, that the audience that we appeal to, plain and simple, is just not that audience. And right now, that audience isn't what is prevalent on YouTube. Now, you give it 5 years. I view everything that I do social media-wise as a long game move. Everything. Every partnership every partnership I enter into, every person I interact with, every decision that I make, I'm looking at it at a long game perspective. Because I can promise you, the kids that are 12 and 13 now will be 18, 19, and 20 and 22 very, very soon. A lot sooner than we think they are.
Sure.
And I've already seen some translation of people that have said, kids who have went from being 15 to 18, that's a very drastic change right there. Where they say, okay, I quit watching this kind of content because I got more serious about fishing. What those bigger channels appeal to is they do have that older audience. I mean, they're there, obviously, because they sell millions of dollars worth of product. There's somebody buying, right? A lot of it's mom and dad, but then some of it is that college-age generation. But you start to see these guys that get more serious about bass fishing, and that's the audience that we appeal to. You know what I mean? But to answer the question of why we don't do well, freaking good question, dude. I put the videos out every other day. I use the best thumbnails, the best tags, the best titles. I mean, I got people that go out of their way to tell me how awesome my videos are, and they can't explain to me why I don't have more subs than I do.
Sure.
And I honestly think it's just a saturation of the market and finding a niche to stand out in. Hey, Rick, you're shaking your head. Tell me what you're thinking.
I'm going to give you something to think about.
Okay.
I'm gonna put out the number 16 million. I'm gonna use the Guggen Squad as an example, and I think you touched upon the sensational content. Well, I agree with you 100%. They sold $16 million in baits last year.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
To 14-year-olds with an allowance. Now, who drives those 14-year-olds into Bass Pro Shops?
Moms and dads.
Moms and dads.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so while we look at this and we say, that's not my audience. Why a brand is going to pay? Pick one of these kids. You mentioned TJ. Why a brand is going to pick a TJ is because he's going to sell a crap ton of loose combos, right? But he's also going to bring the kids into the store with their parents, right? So they see the value of all of that. So if TJ can get a whack ton of, if he can get up to 150,000 subs, all right, now he's got millions of eyeballs a month. That's a lot of little kids that can still buy baits. That's a lot of little kids that can buy combos. Because let's face it, we all go to the Bassmaster Classic. I remember the first year that Favorite was there, and I'm looking at all these kids, and they come to my booth, and I'm like, "Oh, you got that rod, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, Andrew Flair's my favorite." I'm like, "Is he good? Is he a good fisherman?" He's like, "Yeah, he's the best." They want to be entertained. Those are their heroes. That's why the lineup to go see Andrew Flair is bigger than the lineup to see a Bassmaster Classic champion like Randy Hott with the Livingston booth, right?
Yep.
We live in a world where it's the next boy band, right? It's who's ever the flavor of the day. They want to be entertained. They want to learn something, but they want to be entertained at that age level. And the brands are attracted to guys like that because, again, it brings the parents into the store. And I think that you're not going to grow as big because you're as fast because you're not creating sensational content. But at the same time, you're building a loyal audience that trusts you so that when you do say, let's use this lose whatever rod, they're going to take you seriously, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the difference of the two, and that's why you're not going to grow as fast. The only other reason why you're not growing as fast, and I still think, right, like I've always said to you since day one, you got to remain true to who you are.
And I never will compromise that.
That's right. That's what I love about you. You're never going to do the gummy bear challenge, right?
Yep,
and I've never told you to sell out. But what I do think you need to do, like when you made that one comment, you're like, yeah, I invited that guy to come up and fish with me. And I'm thinking to myself, no, dude, you got nothing. You can't offer that guy something. If there's a guy with 200,000 subs and he'll collaborate, drive the 2.5 hours to go collaborate and take his audience.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. This is why I love Rick, because I already executed on that idea, just so you know. I was going to tell you that I've not had a chance, but I've already executed on the idea.
Yeah.
And so
Who'd you collab with, man?
I'm working up a collaboration with SB Fishing. He lives in Virginia. Yeah, his name's Matt. He's an awesome dude.
Yeah, but he's not. I wouldn't consider him a. He's really good. He's a good angler too.
Exactly. That's why. But and something to add to kind of what Rick was saying, and kind of to go back on everything that I was saying, is that I think that's why we don't grow as fast. But all at the same time, YouTube at this exact moment has 800 million active users.
Crazy.
800 million active users. So you can't tell me out of that 800 million that there is not an audience for me and you, Travis. And I truly believe people like SB Fishing, Milliken, Milliken and Lake Fort Guy, those dudes prove that we have a massive
100%.
audience on YouTube. 100%. It is just trying to figure out how to appeal to those guys to get their eyes on us. Mm-hmm. And again, I don't know what that secret is. I've never paid anybody a dime to tell me crap. I literally have just grinded and talked to everybody that I know and got every perspective that I can to try to figure out what's the right way, what's the wrong way. I just know what Rick said. I'm never going to compromise myself, and I'm going to keep working. And here's the deal. At the end of the day, I may never be the biggest channel, but if I can establish an audience of 200,000, 300,000, 500,000 people who absolutely believe in everything that I say, and I can slowly transition away from working a full-time job to doing YouTube full-time, I will be perfectly happy with that.
Sure.
And
Travis is already there, man. That's his full-time.
Right.
I mean, what's your secret, Travis? I mean, Alex, I've told Travis a lot of crap, and he's never paid me a dime either.
You got to do a lot of guide trips as well. I'll tell you what, the YouTube business has helped my guiding a lot.
Sure.
Every trip I get, they've watched the shows. So, and because of that, I turn guide trips. I could guide every day of my life if I wanted to, and so that's pretty cool. But would I rather be making would I rather be out there kind of by myself and not, just catching big ass fish and
Let
videoing
me answer
it?
that question for you.
Well,
Sure.
Of course.
I mean, listen, you can go both ways, right? Like, but you got to pick a path from the beginning. Like, Alex could never go and do gummy bears, just like if TJ, and we're only using TJ because Alex, you mentioned him, but like TJ could never like make the transition today and be like, I'm just gonna go instructional, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it just wouldn't work, right? Like, the same way that if Travis decided he's gonna go fish with gummy bears, I can't wait to see the next time he's up on top of the tank, giving it a set, right?
And the thing is, dude, it's a really kind of an attitude thing. Like TJ, I love TJ because he's a freaking madman. Like he plays into that. Like it's perfect for him because he's crazy. I love him. Like the dude will do and say things that I never would do or say on camera to an effect. I've said a lot of really probably things I shouldn't say on camera, but anyway, the dude just got the attitude for it, and I just don't. Like, I'm not a hot monster. Like, I put a 5-pounder in the boat, and I don't say a word about it. I'm just like, that's a damn good one. All right, let's put her back. Go do that 12 more times today. Whereas, some dudes are like rolling in the floor.
You gotta get, you gotta get more, excitement, right? Is that what you're saying? Because I feel the same way. And I see that even on guide trips where, and we forget that a lot, as when you're used to, Lake Ontario's got monster fish, right? A 4-pounder. Eric, what's wrong over there? The comments?
I'm just laughing.
I know, I've seen them.
Yes, the comments for sure.
Yes.
The stories. And, how we were down in Alabama and just had some really exciting things happen. You're like, well, that wasn't very good. And I'm like, dude, if you don't get excited about that, what can get you excited anymore? Yeah. I felt bad for you, man. It's like the joy is gone. I mean, where's the magic anymore? What do you got to catch to, like, get stoked? Double digits.
30-pound bags.
That's the quest.
I know,
I think you're going to try to do it, right?
That's where it's at now, dude. Like,
but once you crack the 30-pound, then what's next?
30 pounds every day. No, dude, you know what I mean. Like,
no,
we just get different. I know.
Yes, that's all right, man.
It's fine.
You guys are on the right track, though, man. I think people, to me, it's the live viewers you get on the streams, the engagement level that you have from your audience. You just need to find 25,000 more of those people. And then maybe you hit this critical mass. And the collabs, I think, that Rick was talking about is critical. I mean, the collaborations, you should be able to connect up with that.
We should. I've always felt, so I would love to collab. The only YouTuber I've worked with is YouTube Fishing Vids, Cornell, which is an awesome dude. I love him.
He's amazing.
Worked together with him. That's the only. He's just a buddy of mine, so it felt natural.
We had a great day on the Potomac together.
Yeah,
with him, man. I thought that was a fantastic video.
Actually, him and I shot a bunch of.
Come over.
Yeah, him and I shot a bunch of videos together. But I feel bad always approaching someone with 200,000 followers and what can I offer them, as exchange. Because listen, if they bring you on, you're gonna benefit more than they will. And so yes, I can get you on some big smallmouth. Rick, you kind of threw your hands up. Is that bad to think that way?
Because look, I need to create content, and I need to create good content. And sure, I can catch gummy bear fish, but like if you can throw me on some monster smallmouth, and I've got a bigger audience than you, that's going to create great content for me. So I benefit
100%.
I got you. That makes sense.
You're spot on, Rick. That's what you've got to offer, something that they don't do. So pick somebody that's weak in the smallmouth game and collab, bro.
Right.
Yeah. Look at One Rod, One Reel. And again, I'm probably picking on people. He's in a Google Squad. He's got hundreds of thousands of subs. That guy was that guy was holding a spinning rod with a reel above the rod, and in one of the videos. Like, here's a guy that doesn't really know how to fish. He would spend all day fishing for mondos with you.
Now he gets excited about a 2-pound bass.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I think he cashes checks, so.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Well, and hell, that's not to say that I don't get hyped about fishing. I love freaking fishing. I mean, I still giggle like a schoolgirl when I hook a 2-pounder on a frog. I mean, like, I'm sorry. Like, there's just certain things that when you do it and you're fishing, if you don't get excited, then you just ain't got a heartbeat. Like, frog fishing, period, across the board. I can catch 100 5-pound frogfish in a day, and on that 100th fish, I would still be giggling like a little girl. Like, it's just, dude.
Sure.
It's good shit. Good shit.
No,
Maybe we should make a crankbait. Yeah.
What are you saying over there? You talking to
I was
yourself?
thinking like maybe we should make a crankbait in the shape of a gummy bear and sell it on Wish, and probably we could all retire, right?
I mean, yeah, let's try it.
Anyway, so let's talk about summer bass fishing.
Oh,
Let's talk about
shit.
let's
Yeah.
talk about bass fishing. We're on YouTube now. We're executing on the idea of creating content now. So let's stop talking about that.
All
and
right.
talk
Yes.
about
So yes, down south. Now that's an area of the country that I struggle with a little bit. I love it down there. I love it. Eric and I went down to Alabama this past March and had a blast. I wish I could get down there more. But
You had an epic frog day, dude. That was just freaking epic.
First of all,
I pulled the big swim bait out and caught the jane. That was awesome.
life is so
On
much
camera.
different. Northern fisheries versus southern fisheries. Like, I can't believe I brought a frog box with me in March. That's unheard of up north.
It's crazy.
But I'm glad I did, okay? Because those fish tore it up. Now, this time of year, I know things get tricky down there. You guys got a lot of heat, a lot more. Well, we get a little bit of heat, but you guys you're 90 degrees every day, and those bass get into a. I know you got epic ledge fishing. You got a lot of different things, but some bodies of water down south, it does get tough this time of year. The dog days of summer. I mean, we're July. As crazy as that sounds. I mean, I think they robbed us of spring, but here we are. It's almost July. Fishing gets tough. What's your go-to baits right now, Alex? Like if you had a numbers day, not necessarily winning bag, but just to go out and catch fish, what would be tied on right now?
So I'm different and weird in the fact of how I summer fish, right? And the reason for that is because I truly believe there are enough fish up shallow to win any tournament. John Cox almost proved that the other day in that FLW Super Tournament. I mean, he was close, right? He needed one more big bite, and he'd been a contender. But I also fish a lot of rivers. So this time of year, man, I'm fishing below dam discharges. I'm running up into these rivers, up into these tributaries, and that's kind of part of that culture down here as well. The East Tennessee culture is river boating, man. Like we go and put our boats places they shouldn't be going. But for me, it's going to be just a flipping bait, man. I mean, like right now, this time of year, there are enough river fish around me, enough river water that hasn't hit 85, 90 degrees yet. You know what I mean? Like I'm fishing in some parts of these rivers where I'm getting 68 in the morning, and by the afternoon, it's 72, 73. And so I can go to these places and, flip boat docks, flip brush piles, flip pretty much anything, and there's going to be fish there. And if you can go down a bank and catch a bunch of 2-pounders, or you can go down a bank and catch a bunch of 5- and 6-pounders. I mean, it's just kind of pick your poison. You know what I mean? But that's kind of my perspective on summer fishing, right? And then you got Chickamauga and all these grass lakes. And, I think that a lot of those fish that live, I have a philosophy, and tell me whether you agree with this or not. I've had people totally agree, and I've had people not agree, that there are two separate sets of fish on any given body of water.
Yes.
You got a set of fish that live shallow all year long, whether they jerk the water up and down or not.
I agree. Yes.
And
truth.
It's 1,000% true, right? And so I truly am the guy who loves shallow power fishing, and so I'm gonna stay shallow, and I'm gonna fish for those fish. You know what I mean?
Dirt daubing, man. You're a dirt dauber, bro.
Dude, dig dirt deep. That's what I like to be in. I mean, troll a motor up is...
Book, man. Dirt deep.
Yeah, dig dirt deep. I'm telling you. And I mean, like, troll a motor as high as I can get it. motor trimmed all the way up, pushing back into stuff that no one else would go into. That's where I like to fish. And because I truly believe there's fish that live there all year long. You know what I mean?
I mean,
so that's
how John Cox is making a living, right? I mean, and doing things that were unexpected and surprising the shit out of people, coming out in a tin boat, pushing stuff through, going under a culvert, getting into places that nobody thought bass lived, and just making it happen.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly, dude. And I mean, there's fish that live. Dude, I've did it too many times where I have pushed back into a place, gone over logs, gone into somewhere where no one else is going, and there's fish that live there, dude. And I mean, if you really think about it, a river is one of the most turbulent, but one of the most consistent places a bass can live its entire life. It's turbulent 100%. In the fact that at any one moment there could be a big rainstorm and he's got to go up, get next to the log, and there's a bunch of muddy water. But all at the same time, dude, those rivers stay about 70 degrees all year long. They
get that flow, the current.
Exactly. And so, yeah, dude, I mean, that's kind of my deal with summer bass fishing, right? I stay shallow. Now, I'll go pound a ledge every now and then, and if you were going to say, hey, you want to go get in 25 foot of water, I'd say tie on a DT20 and a 6XD and start switching in between them and cranking it as fast as you possibly can until you figure out which one they want. I mean,
and throwing what? You got to throw a freaking giant Nico worm, and then you got to drop shot a little bit to, like, mix it up, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean
maybe Travis could do good like that.
Yeah, and, dude, you can. And that's the thing.
DT20.
With like Chick and Watts Bar, again, it's kind of pick your own poison. I had an FLW guy actually give me a call before that Chickamauga tournament asking me questions, and he was like, "What would you do?" And I was like, "Bro, do whatever you want to do. Like, go find fish. Like, they're everywhere. Like, you can go drag a Nico rig on a point in 20 foot and catch them, or you can fish a ledge, or you can go fish a 4-foot grass flat and catch 8-pounders. I mean." And it's like Wheeler's a great example, right? So he won that tournament, won on a DT20, a hair jig, a worm, a jig. I mean, he put it all in the DT20, but let's be honest, if you watched him, he threw a little bit of everything, right? And because what he'd do, he'd get those schools activated, he'd catch those first few big ones, and then he would have to slow down and just pretty much milk that school out. And that's typical ledge fishing. That's typical offshore fishing anywhere you go. Because, not only do we have ledge fishing, but then we've got reservoirs like Douglas. So Douglas is I wouldn't say renowned for deep fishing, but it's known for deep fishing because of the tournaments that's been won there. But you don't do traditional ledge fishing, right? I mean, you're finding a hump.
Humps, yeah.
Yeah, a hump that's in 25 to 30 foot of water surrounded by 110 foot of water. And those bass will pull up on that thing. And
are they still long line in there? Like, is that still a proven technique on Douglas?
Even more now than ever before, because the boat pressure has got so bad that, dude, this year I could not find a good school. I found a lot of schools of deep fish, but they were all 1 to 2 pounders. And I found some isolated schools that didn't have as many fish in them, but definitely were more quality fish in 45 to 55 foot of water. And I literally told myself it's not worth it, because all you're going to do is hook those fish and you're going to kill them. I mean, they come up and their swim bladders be all blown up. I mean, as soon as you get them up there, it doesn't matter if you unhook them and immediately release them, they're rolling up, because you bring one out of 55 foot of water, dude, it's hard on them. And so, yeah, dude, Douglas has got it. This spring was phenomenal. Probably one that it really gave me hope that I was thinking Douglas was making a turnaround, because it had been really rough for a few years. But once we got into the quote-unquote warmer months, because we just had our first 90-degree day like a week ago, those deep fish just did not show up like they normally do. So,
you guys need a beer?
Yes, grab one. So I saw Alex recently. You must have went with Ben to Michigan, or you were fishing some. Those pictures were sick, dude. It brings back memories, because I go back to Wisconsin every now and then. It's the same deal, crystal clear water. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, that had to have been like I don't know how you could go back to Tennessee after being up there, dude. Right? Bro, I don't get it. I don't get it, dude.
Listen, you want to know how I came back to Tennessee?
Yeah.
I I took a Cinco and skipped it under a dock and caught a 4.5 pounder, and I was like, all right, I'm glad to be home. I'll be all right. It's like, bingo, there it is. The freaking boogeyman after under that dock.
Right.
But yeah, nah, dude, freaking Michigan was nuts.
Be right back.
It was nuts this year, man. You know, I've been going up there for the past 3-4 years. Every year I go up there in May. You know, get on that spawn bite and just freaking crush them, right? But dude, that was insane. That's some of the clearest water I think I've ever seen on the lake that we were on.
Sure.
You know, the only thing clearer was like Lake Michigan up near Traverse City. I've been up there and sitting 65 foot and being able to see the bottom.
Yeah.
And like, dude, it's just nuts.
Crazy.
Like that does not exist here. Like there is nowhere in Tennessee that exists. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
I love it.
Dude.
That's man. There's something about crystal clear water for me. You know, I love being able to. It's so crazy once you experience that, and that bite. You know that there's shallow fish, just like you were saying, on the Great Lakes year round as well. Okay, there's a group that stays shallow, and so you can target those fish year round. And what's so fascinating is, I always do this to myself when I'm fishing down here or something where the water's a little dirtier, and you're just wondering, because when you're up north, if you don't see the fish, you know they're not there, and a lot of times you're fishing areas that are stained down here, and to me, I go back to that same philosophy. Well, it looks good, but is there fish swimming around? Like, are they even here? And a lot of times they're not. Just like you see in the Great Lakes and in that shallow water, you could go. I'm sure you went to a bunch of places where it was crystal clear and there wasn't life anywhere, and you would know instantly. And then you go to an area and there's fish everywhere. I feel that's the same way, and that's what gets me depressed sometimes. Fishing around here, you're always wondering. Like, I tell my clients, I fish a little area during the spawn that's stained. It's about 4 feet deep, and I go, if you guys knew the amount of fish that were in here, it would blow your mind. Like, if it was crystal clear, you would see hundreds of fish right now. Yeah. And it's fascinating that crystal clear water.
Oh, me and Ben had that conversation, because what was crazy is, so we're fishing this island. You know, this island's 10 miles out into the Great Lake, and you run out through there. Ben always scares the shit out of me, because he's like, oh, it's the island, 11 miles that direction. I've never ran 11 miles in just one direction with open water all around me other than the ocean in my life. And so we roll up on this island, but what was crazy is like how on one side of the island, and I say one side, 600 yards that direction, there's nothing. Like, no fish. There's a bunch of beds that haven't been fanned out yet. You come 600 yards back this direction, and there's literally 150 fish swimming around us, actively making beds, and we're casting at dust clouds, and we're watching them swim up out of deep water. And so I told Ben, I was like, dude, it makes me sick to think how many times I've caught a fish on a Carolina rig or flipping or done something and didn't go back through that area and really break it down, and there was probably 12 more fish sitting there. You know what I mean? Like, wow. You're right. I mean, like, dude, if we could see all the fish that actually live in an area, we would totally fish lakes completely different than we do now. Sure. You know what I mean?
We would figure out Panoptic.
Dude, exactly. And like, dude, Ben has become the master of that Panoptic stuff, dude. It is.
Ben,
we don't talk about it here.
Okay.
Oh, right. Sorry, Alex, you didn't get the memo. That's page 955 of the manual for smallmouth rush. We don't talk about Panoptic.
We don't talk about Panoptics because it is. Hey, let's be honest. That is a true hashtag game changer. Yeah.
Yes, true.
That's a true hashtag game changer right there.
I see.
But is there a shallow water application for the river rat, the dirt dauber?
Yes, there is. It's not but it's a lot more effective.
That was a rhetorical question.
But dude,
you remember I put one on my partner's boat, right? The dirt dauber himself, Scooter Lilly, Captain Scooter Lilly, dirt dauber extraordinaire. Alex, you guys would like mesh perfectly. He's the power dirt daubing fisherman. And I'll throw a little finesse game in there, and it drives him crazy. Like, I caught my personal best in a tournament last year off a brush pile, a 796 10-pound test. He was like flipping out that I threw 10-pound test in there. But it got the bite.
Yeah, well, hey, you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Sometimes you do. Hey, I got a question for you, man. Let's talk about your cranker. All right, let's talk about your crankbaits. Like, what are your faves, man? Give me a little balsa in there, please. Throw in the non-plastics. You've mentioned some of the plastic baits, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me. Talk to me about the juice, man. The East Tennessee juice.
There's a lot of
crankbaits that are watching.
There's a lot of sneaky stuff out here, right? And I
mean,
mean,
you got to give up the goods on smallmouth fresh.
So the mimic lures, I was talking about mimic lures earlier. That's gonna be one that, you know, boxes and boxes of them sitting around the house. You know, stuff that I don't throw as much as I used to and need to throw more of. But man, you know, they were making stuff. My dad especially has stuff that you'll never ever find because they made him one-offs, right? Color that you'll never ever find because they're one-offs. And I mean, dude, it's stuff that still consistently catches fish today, right?
For real. Are you
a color
guy, though? Do you believe those unique one-off colors matter?
Yes, in certain situations.
Interesting.
Here's kind of my philosophy behind that, right? So, I say if you go to Chickamauga, red is red is red is red. I don't give a crap. I mean, dude, if you're throwing red and they're eating red, it doesn't matter if it's Strike King's red or Jim Bob's custom bait color red. They're gonna eat it. But you go to a lake like Norris in February, I've found times when they'll only eat a mega bass, you know, whatever in this specific color from Japan, whatever, and like, and Ben, my buddy Ben can vouch for me on this one because I took him to Norris, one of the toughest times of the year, and I spanked him on a rock crawler in like Missouri crawl or something like that. Well, he's throwing some 6 cents bait, and he says, well, I'll just throw this. They'll bite it. It's brown. It looks like that. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, I've got 4 more of these in the box. You can tie one on. You're not going to catch a fish. He did not catch a fish until he tied that stupid crankbait on, and then they bit it.
That's crazy, man.
I'm sure somebody could come out here and be like, Alex, you're stupid. I could go, beat your eyeballs out on XYZ bait, and maybe you can. But I think there's certain colors that help you to build immense amounts of confidence that might have something a little bit different than something else has. That when you're on these really highly pressured bodies of water that have 300 and 400 and 500 boat tournaments every weekend, finding something just a little bit different can make a big difference. You know what I mean? And dude, I'll tell you, my fish aren't dumb like northern fish. I've told Ben this 1,000 times.
I agree.
Dude, those fish are stupider, and they do exactly what they're supposed to do. Like, Ben's like, oh, it's 65 degrees outside, and oh, it's May 21st. There's going to be 50 on this boat dock row right here. And we go down through there, and we catch 25 pounds of largemouth flipping a jig. Dude, you can't do that in Tennessee. I'm sorry, you can't. Like, this year's a perfect example of our water temperatures didn't hit the 80s until 2 weeks ago. That is highly unusual. Depending on how much water comes through the dams, how much rain that we have, what the temps look like. I mean, last year we had record rainfall amounts. We had so much current coming through our dams at one point that literally it moved things that I fished for years miles down the river because there was 250,000 units of water coming out of Chickamauga Dam at one point. I mean, dude, it's just the factors down here are crazy, but that's what makes fishermen good that come from here. You look at Jordan Lee, Jacob Wheeler. I mean, it's why these dudes move here. It's why they fish these lakes, because it's tough and it makes them good fishermen. You know what I mean? I suck. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I'm horrible, dude. Like, I try my best, but yeah. I am, Rick, dude. I try, really try. I'm just self-admitted. Just I'm not that good. Trust me, there's guys that are. I'm sure Travis could come down here and just beat my ass all over the place.
Dude, I struggle down south, man. I like it, but I'd be missing home. I really would.
Yeah.
Man, you were moving to Alabama, what, back when we visited
Okay,
February?
yes. So for the record.
All right. Let's discuss. I mean, it's upstate New York or Alabama. Which is it, man?
Way to go.
I would like to have both. I would like to do Alabama, in
the winter.
December, January, February, March, April, and then May, June, May through September, May through October.
Get to 200,000 subscribers, and I think you can make that happen.
Maybe.
Right on your own, pal.
Maybe.
Who said that? His wife?
I don't know.
I'd be in. I'd be in.
Yeah, you'd have to get the approval there from the old other half.
Yeah.
Not 200,000 subscribers, he wouldn't. Next
Them
stop,
checks.
Gummy Bears.
Yes.
Hey, listen. I did do a
Eat more shad.
probably my 30th video ever on YouTube was a gummy bear challenge on the St. Lawrence. I had to try it.
And how'd it work out?
I caught some fish on the damn thing.
No, but how many views did you get?
I don't know. Not that many. It was.
Dude, that's just not you, man.
No, I
It's
realized
just not
that.
you.
That's when I was
you can't act
experimenting,
cool.
dude. I was trying different things.
No, not bad, man. I feel like, I get it. I get it.
I do.
It's like
I
a giant-
honestly would like to catch a 30-pound bag of smallmouth on the Snoopy pole, though.
Now that would be.
I think I could do that. Would that what? Is that bad? Like I honestly
No,
think I
bro,
could do
do it.
that.
Get on it.
I mean,
Do it, bro. Listen, you hit the spawn any one day right, and you could go out there with a Snoopy pole and crush a 25, 26
Sure.
pound bag easy.
yeah.
Easy. You look good doing it too with that Snoopy pole. I could see him out there. Just bent. I mean, straight freaking bent all the way to the handle.
Right.
Which one do I get? They got the Snoopy pole. I'm not doing the barbecue pole.
I
What
don't
else do they
know.
got?
It'd probably be the Barbie pole for me.
Paw Patrol.
No, you got the Barbie pole because, well, you know
Why? Because I drink White Claw.
I think, let's just hear it from the
I mean,
viewers.
come
Why
on.
would Travis have to fish the Barbie pole?
First of all,
Because you wear Lululemon pants.
okay, that too. But first of all, if it's
Wow.
if it's June,
if it's
June, July, and August,
I can keep going.
Eric, if it's June, July, August, if it's hot out, and you're not a White Claw drinker, you're a moron. That's all I'm saying. It's refreshing. It's.
Wait.
It's refreshing.
Listen, if I'm drinking White Claw in December, I'm an asshole. Okay, but right now, when it's freaking muggy, I'm
This is
sweating.
where the comments are going to start, man. Just
Is
stop,
this stuff
please.
any good?
It's awesome, dude. I love it. I love it.
Hold on.
It's 3 grams of carbs, gluten free.
Oh Jesus.
This is the.
Oh Lord. Bro, hey, listen. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, you wouldn't last 5 minutes in Alabama. Just stay up in New York, all right?
Yeah.
Alex, on one of the last videos, he insisted he's a redneck.
I am. Alex,
Okay.
Broheen. Where's my
All
duck
right.
call? I got one here
So-
somewhere.
No,
Where's the duck
Travis,
call?
it's
Dude,
it's
I
not going to work.
I can hang, dude. I can hang with them all.
But you're not. a
Look at
redneck.
this. You got them, bro. Is that black cherry?
Just so we're
Yeah,
clear, I've never had one in my life. In the back house is a refrigerator full of alcohol that all my friends bring over, and somebody must have brought this crap. I've never had it in my life. This will be my first time.
It's got to be nice and cold. He's going to love it.
It's the liberal drink. Travis, you're getting flamed right now, dude. The chat room is on fire, and you're the wood.
No?
Dude,
Oh,
Rick.
you're the wood, dude. You're roasted at this point.
you really like this stuff?
I love them, dude. What flavor is that? What flavor is that, Rick?
As if the flavor.
Oh, it's raspberry. Okay, listen, dude.
Oh, God.
No,
Rick,
no. White Claw.
raspberry.
White Claw
You
can send
drink
you.
raspberry
Listen,
White Claw,
listen,
Travis.
listen. White Claw can
And you're
send
a
you.
redneck. They would run you out of Alabama.
White-
You
This is
show up with a
like
six-pack of
Zima
White Claw.
from back in the day.
They're gonna beat
I just want to make this clear. I want to let everyone know. White Claw can send you down some rabbit holes that are not worth going down. If you buy the variety pack and you get raspberry lime and you get blueberry and that bullshit,
What are you
no.
talking about right now?
It has to be
Rabbit
blackberry. It has to be blackberry. White Claw.
It's got to be blackberry.
Do not drink raspberry. Don't drink blueberry. Don't drink orange citrus.
You just gotta stop. You just gotta stop.
Wait a minute.
You're digging the hole deeper.
There's clearly a man on this show. Apocalypse says we should mix this with tequila. Would be the only way this is any good.
Okay, this is the quote of the night. White Claw will send you down a rabbit hole.
It will, dude. You'll go and get that. Listen, you'll go in like I did.
I'm getting a shirt made. White Claw will send you down a rabbit hole.
Listen, dude,
My name is Travis Manson. I'm a redneck.
Listen.
I wear a Lululemon. I drink blackberry White Claw.
Travis,
what are you talking about?
Okay, I went to Weis the other night. Okay, I wanted to get some White Claw, and they didn't have blackberry, so I bought the fucking variety pack, dude. And it had blueberry and fucking all this bullshit in there, and I got a fucking massive headache, and I almost threw up.
You got a massive headache?
Yes.
From White Claw? You're a redneck?
Do not drink that shit. Blackberry is the only flavor. And if you drink Thule, which is close to White Claw, you can get away with wild berry.
Did you just say
Truly? You can get away with wild berry, but that's it.
Oh my God.
Don't go.
I'm just so offended as the redneck sitting here that he calls himself a redneck. I still can't get off that boat. Hold on just a second. Oh, here he goes. He's grabbing something. He's going to try to prove his redneck. That dude that listens to Luke Bryan. And he's like,
I mean, it even says spiked sparkling water with a hint of raspberry. Like,
you're bringing out another drink as a substitute for your White Claw. It's called Truly with berries on top. Up in your truck with a 6-pack. Oh, they would welcome you with open arms, Travis.
Travis might want to come out to my side of this country.
He would fit right in.
I just can't wait to see what he brings back to try to prove his redneckness, because I can redneck one up him immediately, just right here in this room.
He's getting some Bartles and Jane wine coolers. What could he possibly get? Does he really drink this White Claw stuff on every show?
Every show. It's either Tito's or that.
When I tell you, I'm not a sparkling water kind of guy. Like, my kid loves those LaCroix. Oh my God, this is the worst.
It's terrible.
This is really listen, I'm not
here. As I'm getting roasted.
Oh my God, Travis.
Is he about to whip out a duck call?
Nah, I had to take a bathroom break. You know what? Screw the duck call. No. Broheems.
What do you got?
I got the Benelli 12 gauge right here.
Don't play no. Give me just a second. Hold on.
Oh God, who's got the bigger dick? Here it comes.
Here
comes that.
12 gauge. Hold on. Here's
Here
another
comes
12 gauge. Hold on. Okay. Listen. I've got.
Oh, what do we get into tonight?
One room with me. It's sad. Here's the deal. Here's the true mark of a redneck. You want to know the true mark of a redneck? When someone looks at you and they say, "How many guns do you have?" and you have to take a pause and go, "Shit, I'm not real sure, to tell you the truth." That's the true mark of a redneck right there. All right.
Oh, Travis, nice try.
All I'm saying is I can
stacked up, bro.
All I'm saying is I can hang with them, bro.
Bro, listen. Hey, I'll tell you.
The comments are rolling in. I can't even keep up with this right now.
I'll welcome you down here with redneck open arms anytime you want to come.
I appreciate that.
That's Southern hospitality. When it really boils down to it, it's a hey, how y'all doing? Here's a beer and come on in and sit down.
That's right.
Come back now, y'all.
That's right. Oh man, I love it. You never know where this show's gonna go.
Shit, rabbit hole. That's where it went. Right down a rabbit hole.
Right.
Right down the White Claw rabbit hole.
Oh man. All right.
Alex,
Comments. Hold on. What was it?
5 baits. Wait, time out. 5 baits in southern waters for the rest of your life. What's on the end of your rod and reel, man? What's on your deck, brother? Yeah, 5. That's it. I might give you 6 if you're really hard up for an extra.
Square bill crankbait.
What's your favorite square bill? People are going to want to know this, man. Is it a Strike King KVD? What do you got?
It's a Strike King. It's a 1.5, dude. It's gross.
All right.
For durability, price point, everything about it, you can't beat it. You switch the hooks out on it, you can knock it off every dock post and rock in the lake 22 times and you're fine.
And what's the one color of that Strike King KBD 1.5 that you're putting on the end of your line?
Rayburn Red.
Oh, snap. Whoa. All right. What's your second lure?
So second is probably going to be some kind of bladed jig. It's because, I say bladed jig as the broad term, right? It's either going to be a jackhammer or a thunder cricket. I've really found a place for the thunder cricket down here. I thought it was, I didn't really get behind it when it first came out until I figured out how and where to use it. Okay. And the thunder crickets, I've found if you're around any kind of hard cover, if you're around rock, riprap, hard bottom, that thing absolutely excels. Whereas if you're around grass, really grass period, with the jackhammer, it excels more down here. Right.
Sure.
So,
what color of the bladed jig are you going to have? You can only have one.
White.
All right. We got that covered. All right. What's your next? That's number 2.
We're going to go with some kind of medium small body diving crankbait. Bandit, wigglewort, rock crawler, dude, I got 4 boxes of medium diving crankbaits, every different brand you could ever imagine. Right.
Fair enough.
My go-to always will be the best one. Is the first bait I ever caught a fish on. Probably be the last bait I ever catch a fish on. Bandit 300 is my go-to medium diving crankbait. Small body.
What color?
So I have a color that they don't make anymore.
This is what we like.
Yeah. So it was a late 90s, early 2000s color. And it's kind of like a Missouri crawl. It's like an OD green, kind of mossy green back, tan sides, and a bright pink belly. And I've literally called Pradco, and I've talked to him at iCast. I've taken the crankbait and they're like, I want this. How do I get this? And they're like, we got sued by Wigglewort back in the day for the color, because apparently it's Wigglewort's color. And they still have it in the Wigglewort, but it's not like the Bandit color.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, it is the kitty's titties. It is the narwhal's ball.
Have you tried to get a custom painter to match it for you?
I can't get anybody to do it right.
TK.
We got somebody for you. Let's lay down the kitty's titties, paint. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I'm serious. I will send him one, and let's paint it up, because if he can do it,
we're doing it, man.
I'll pay him $25 a bait. I mean,
Tacklecraft is ready. He's up for the challenge. I mean, I'm volunteering for him. Are you watching Tacklecraft, TK? All right, I'll hit him up. All right, that's your third bait. What's your fourth bait?
A fourth bait is going to be some kind of creature bait, flipping a creature bait.
What's your top creature bait?
Rage bug.
Ooh.
Rage bug. Yeah, rage bug to me is one of the most versatile baits that Strike King has ever made. Most versatile flipping bait ever made.
You're going green pumpkin?
Nope. Chameleon.
Oh, stop. What? I love it. Damn.
I tell everybody, if you've not thrown it yet, tie it on, go throw it. I don't care where you're fishing. Crystal clear water or freaking mud, tie it on and go
Dude,
fish.
Let me tell you something. The chameleon zoom U-tail, I can't tell you the number of fish. I caught my river fish love a chameleon bait. And that's funny, and we forget about those colors, we forget about those staples, and we're looking for that new. All right, that's your fourth one. What's your fifth one?
I'm going to have to just go with frog, because it's my absolute favorite.
All right, hollow body. It's a walking frog. It's not a popping frog, I'm guessing, because you can get it through grass.
Walking frog.
What's your walking frog, top walking frog?
So I've been experimenting.
Hard one, man.
Yeah, I've been experimenting a lot. One that I've settled on that I absolutely love is the Spro Spit and Shad. And the reason for that is I have found I can go behind guys that are fishing a spook, right? Because I can put that frog places they can't put that spook or something else that has treble hooks. And so I'm skipping up under docks, I'm skipping up under tree limbs, I'm putting it back up in just trash and being able to bring that bait out and getting those bites that not a lot of other people could get.
What's the color? What's the one color?
Man,
white or black?
They don't actually make a white or a black in that bait. They make they make a bunch of shad patterns. They make
like Spook Nasty. What is it?
Yeah, it's shad Nasty Shad or whatever is like their white
Nasty
base.
Shad.
Yeah. They don't actually have a black base, which I wish they did because I would have.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Take a Sharpie to it, man. That's nuts.
Yeah, we won't get into all the bait modifications, but yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so are you a 65-pound braid man? Or are you a Power Pro man?
Oh, I'm whatever kind of braid I can get my hands on. I've never really found a difference in any of the braids. I'm running Strike King right now because I'm partnered with Strike King, so obviously get a lot of line. But yeah, now I'm running Strike King right now. I like it. 50 pound. I run 50.
Do you really?
Yeah, man. I mean, I ran 65 for a while, and I really did try to break it on every fish. I mean, like when I hook a frogfish, I try to break every one of their faces. Like I want to kill them. And like I was finding that rods and reels were breaking long before I ever had to switch out. You know what I mean? So
wow. Any mods to the frog? Do you bend the hook points up? Do you add BBs to it? Do you do any tricks like that, or do you put a split ring on the front, or you just tie it straight on and just work it?
Just tie it straight on and go to work with it. I've never found an issue getting hooks into a frog fish outside of grass fishing, just because I do a lot of open water frog fishing. A lot of my
That's very cool.
Yeah, a lot of my frog fishing stuff is river fishing. Like I said, it's very current based. It's fishing points. It's fishing, beaver dams, stuff like that. And so really the weedless aspect of the frog is to be able to get it as far back into the junk as I can and then start working. You know what I mean? So when they pound a frog in open water, they don't choke anything quite like they choke a frog in open water. I mean, it is great white shark on a baby seal. They want to absolutely like in that thing, and so I've never had any issues. But like grass fishing, I'll play with the hooks a little bit, but I think it's more about self-control. That's one thing that I really worked on.
Do you wait? Talk to me about that journey of self-control with frog fishing, because big debate. Wait, strike immediately. People count to 3. All sorts of crazy talk out there about frogs.
So
what's your view?
So grass fishing, I definitely think there's warrant in the statement of give it some time, wait till you fish, that kind of stuff. Especially like late October when you've got 4 inches of grass that they're coming through. You got to imagine they're grabbing a mouthful of salad to get to a piece of steak that's 2 inches long.
That's right.
So you got to give them a second. Now,
real quick, did you see that Christie video on the Potomac River? He went into one of the famous, bays. It was loaded. It was about a mile-long grass bed. He found the best cheese, which means that's the thickest mat. He put 12 BBs in a frog. And he said it came through the holes and it sunk like a stone. But because he weighted it down, it made a depression in the mat, and it made it easier for the fish, they didn't blow the frog out when they were coming up through the cheese. It didn't knock the frog sideways because it had weight, and it was making more of a depression in the mat, so he got more bites because of that. Fascinating to me. Haven't tried it. I've got a couple in my box. Haven't really seen the mats form yet for me. Frog fishing was not spectacular recently, but it's been turning on the Potomac here soon.
Yeah, no, I totally believe that, dude. I mean, that's the kind of stuff now on Chickamauga, which we can get into that here in a minute. It's getting to the point where you got to do some really wacky stuff to catch fish certain times of the year there. Like if you want to truly catch giants, and I've talked to, and I've got some buddies that are doing stuff like that with frogs during mat fishing season to get by. Fishing big frogs, fishing crazy frogs, but
like the Strike King the King Daddy, that's a giant frog, stuff like that.
You got to go with the Let's talk about the little baby frogs.
Dude, the Kiera frog from Jackal.
Yeah.
Now, bro, that's some freaking sauce right there. If you haven't used it yet,
I took about the big one or the original one.
No, the little bitty one.
Yeah,
the Kiera.
I took an insert from YouTube fishing vids last week on our tournament with BTC on the Chesapeake, and I ran the live target, real small one. I don't know what number size it is. Eric, you probably know.
There's a couple different small frogs.
The smallest one.
Yeah.
And we got bites on that. Listen, I know you're a big believer in the big King Daddy Frog and all that stuff.
Oh, no. I'm just saying that's just one of
Well,
the
you like it,
Travis.
yeah.
I'm not it gets a bigger bite, but then sometimes you got to flip back and finesse them, right? It's all about their attitude. What's going on? Are they getting pounded? Or you got boats around you, right?
Yeah. Anywhere south of New York, the fish are getting pounded on. Every day.
Okay, so what's your point?
You gotta finesse them up, bro. I gotta put a frog on a spinning rod because you can't even cast on a bait caster. That's how small it is. What? All right, whatever. Dude. Don't believe me. I'll just call in some ducks.
Random.
God,
Alex, let me go back to your crankbait setup.
Yeah, bro.
What? Tell me about your gear ratios on your reels. Tell me about your square bill setup first, because that was the first one you picked. If you don't mind, you might have covered in other videos, but I'm curious.
No, yeah, I mean, I talk about it a bunch, but it doesn't bother me. So this year I'm running. It's actually a Greg Hackney Signature Series Lose Rod.
Yeah.
For my square bills, and I played with every crankbait rod that you could ever imagine, right? And once I started working with Lose, I knew I kind of had to start working within the bounds of what they had, and so sure. I literally ordered one of every crankbait rod that they had and started to figure out what I liked, right? And for this year, I've kind of settled on that Greg Hackney rod for my square bill rod, and the reason for that is it's got that parabolic bend. It's a composite rod, right? So you got the glass graphite composite, all that kind of stuff.
Love it. Yep.
It's got everything you need in a crankbait rod. The only thing I like about it for the square bills just a little bit more is it shuts off. It's just a little bit heavier of a rod. It wants to shut off a little bit higher up into the rod.
Sure.
And I like that because you're fishing those square bills 1.5, 2.5, those size square bills. You're fishing number 4 to number 2 size hooks.
Sure.
And I really truly believe that I was losing fish on a more parabolic light action rod because I wasn't able to really get those hooks into that fish like a little bit. And I say it's a little bit stiffer. I mean, it is probably so unnoticeable to most people, but for me, it gives me that confidence to know that I'm getting them in there. You know what I mean?
Right on.
So that's the square bill rod I'm running. Reel, it's a Lose Custom Pro 6/8 gear ratio. I run 6/8 on all my smaller body crankbaits. Now, when I get up into like my 10XDs, 6XDs, 8XDs, I'm going 5/1/1 gear ratio.
Right on.
And if I want the speed, I'm cranking the absolute piss out of it. You know what I mean? Some people like to fish a 6/8 or even a 7. I don't know how people fish 7 gear ratio anything with a crankbait.
Ask Travis, he'll tell you. It's 8-5-1.
Dude, that is nutty to me. Well, my problem is I'm like a squirrel on crack when I crank, so I got to do something to. I mean, dude, like I freebase monsters in the morning before I go cranking. Okay, like so I can't. I gotta slow down. Like so, the reel helps me to slow down just a little bit. So yeah, but what? Tell me your philosophy behind the higher gear ratio, Travis, because I'd like to hear it. I've never been around somebody that really.
So all my reels are 8.5 because a lot of times when you set the hook, those fish are running towards you or whatever the case may be, and I got to catch up with them. And so my philosophy is whatever the bait I choose, I determine the speed because I know what my reel is. Like if I have a lower gear ratio, I can't catch up to that fish at times. So I would much rather just slow it down and be able to set the hook and reel that bitch in. That's my theory.
What about torque? Do you believe that you lose any torque?
Nope.
Yeah, no, I don't. I've heard some
maybe years ago. I remember when I first started out bass fishing. There was, I remember flipping. You would look at. Are you talking like I don't know the, I guess the drag poundage, right? Mm-hmm. Is that what you're kind of referring to?
No, I meant like torque within the gearing of the reel. So, you go lower in gear, you get more torque naturally. Sure. It's just mechanics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree with you. Like, I think with modern technology, these modern reels that we have, you're not going to lose that much torque. I mean, when you've got this thing that is to the 1/1,000,000th of an inch, using CNC machines and stuff like that, dude, it's not like it used to be. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I like that ratio because dude, I fish fast. I fish fast, and then too, it's just work. You know what I mean? I've put thousands and thousands of fish into tens of thousands of fish into the boat with a crankbait with a 6-8 gear ratio rig. Just don't really want to screw with it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Listen, I'm not cranking. I'm not cranking a DT20 or a Series 6 extra deep on a 8 to 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless I'm trying to burn that.
I wasn't saying it.
But everything else.
What size line are you using, Alex? What size line are you using? And you're using fluorocarbon, I imagine?
Yeah, Strike King fluorocarbon, new fluor grade that they've got.
Square bill, what are you going, 15, 17, 20? You 20, man?
10 pound all the way.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Talk to me, man. What?
First of all, I'm not
10 pound all the way, retie all the time. Retie every.
About that. MonsterBass is
trying to burn that.
Rick's back, Travis. Get him on.
Where is Rick? He's gone.
He's back. No, he's back. I see his Skype thing. You just gotta let him in.
I'm trying. Last I saw, he dumped out his fucking White Claw and he went to go puke it up.
So, hold on, man. You got to back up on the 10 pound. Cranking a square bill. You're retying a ton. Why the 10 pound? Is it to get extra depth, extra action? Talk, dude. This is fascinating.
It's depth, man. For me, I want that thing. Whether I'm fishing in 2 or 6 foot, I want grinding the bottom at all times.
Of course.
And the deal with me is a lot of the places I'm fishing highland reservoirs, right? And a lot of my square bill fishing really gets done on these highland reservoirs. Your Norrises, Douglases, Cherokees, different mountain lakes that I don't really want to talk about. But and so what that is I'm fishing that 2 to 6 foot range.
Sure.
And so I want to optimize the diving depth of that square bill in that 2 to 6 foot range, and I do that 10 pound test. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
And then too, I believe that little bit lighter pound test. I think it's just a little more non-intrusive. It doesn't.
The bait's got to have more action. I'm sorry. I mean,
it probably does.
There's no question. There's no question. If you can test on anything, it allows the bait to have more action for sure.
And I'll tell you one thing that I found is deflection off of cover. It deflects so much better when I'm using lighter line.
And frankly, that's what a squirt bill's all about. Deflection.
Yeah.
That's what cranking's all about. Deflection and bottom contact. So
exactly.
You're achieving 2 different things. Now, wow, man. You got me thinking, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. Dude, run 10. I mean, you just gotta run 10 and and I tell everybody this. They're like, oh my God, 10 pounds. I'm like, just retie all the time. If you go through 150 yards in a day, who gives a crap if you're putting fish in it? Just retie.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But I'm 10 pounds across the board on every single one of my cranking setups.
That's cool. Travis, let Rick back in.
I'm trying.
White Claw did him in. What?
These messages are killing me. Everybody's like, I don't know how to let him in. I tried to just call him back.
Rick is hit the camera button. Make sure has his camera. Maybe easy.
Yeah, everyone's all snotty right now. We messed up.
Somebody said MonsterBass is getting his stomach pumped right now, Travis. R.I.P. Bill Lance.
Oh shit! I can't. You guys are all like, you're cutting in and out when you're talking too. By the way.
Thanks for Travis. 2 hours in.
Yeah, Travis is like
I'm trying, guys. I can't hear you guys. The audio is jacked up, guys. Whatever Rick did, he messed this whole thing up. That's all I know. All because of the White Claw. Yeah, you guys are cutting out bad. Eric.
Hey.
Here, let me try something. Let me try something. God dang it, this sucks. Hold on.
Yeah, it's the Eric now show at this point.
Wait, I see Rick now. I see him on the side screen.
Back.
No,
Let's do it.
There he is. Dude, what did you press?
I pressed the reset and wish I never drank a White Claw ever again.
It's the White Claw madness. Hey, Travis, how's that MonsterBass hat coming for me, man? I'd love to be promoting it down here in the Outer Banks. You said you'd get me one about 6 months ago. What happened?
I have a massive sweat stain on one of mine, and I went to order some, and it wouldn't work. So I said, you know what? Screw it. Rick can't get that figured out.
Oh, listen, I'm not going to send them to the website. I'm going to ship them one direct.
That's awesome. Thank you. That's how you treat the guy. I like it. Yeah. Travis, take a note.
I know.
Go to the website like everyone else, Eric, and order your butt.
But I'll tell you what, Rick's wearing the most kick-ass design MonsterBass logo there is. So
there's no doubt about it.
You want a story?
Yeah.
I got a letter from from Pepsi yesterday.
Come on, dude.
Telling me that they have an issue with it because they have a trademark on the colors green and red with letters written in this same exact way. So I could do the same thing, change the colors up. They may not be so happy. And but yeah, I take great pride in the fact that Pepsi stepped up and commented on it yesterday.
Wow, man! Now it's a super collectible shirt.
That's right. That's right. I did order myself 10 of each color, and I put them on the website. This is a shameless plug, but I put them on the website for like $8 or something stupid.
No way.
Yeah, because
are they sold out, Rick?
No, I told them that I needed to. I wanted to sell whatever I had left, and then I wouldn't make any more.
Wow.
Again.
Can I order one right now? Just it's an XL, by the way.
I'll
pay.
After this, I'll give you a promo code. You can go get one.
Get it, man. Thank you.
So, yeah.
Well, a couple things we learned tonight. Number one, you gotta be careful when you're choosing the White Claw flavor. Rick, from now on, black cherry.
Hold on. Can I write that down, Travis? What flavor do you like? I need to take a note.
Number two. Square bill. Strike King, 1.5.
Amen.
That was interesting.
10-pound test, brother.
10-pound test. I buy that. I throw my DT6s and 4s on 10.
Oh, for sure. The square bill surprised me, though. It wasn't the DT6 or your mid-diving crankbaits on 10. It was the square bill. That was the aha moment for me.
Yeah. And the fact
I think a lot of people throw a DT6 on 10-pound test, so that was not novel.
Yeah, 10, 12.
But the square bill, for a power, I mean, we're talking to a power fishing dirt diver, river dude, getting in the junk, and he's throwing a square bill and the shitty stuff on 10-pound test. I dig it.
Yes.
I'll be honest. I go as light as I possibly can on everything.
No. I hear you, man.
I've changed my philosophy. I used to be a 25-pound test guy on, flipping everything, and I go as light as I possibly can now.
Wow. Hey, man, 10-pound test paid dividends for me twice with my partner Scooter, who is a heavy line guy. Yeah. And look, he's won boats and motors. I cannot argue with his resume, just like I can't argue with yours or Travis's. A lot of wins, a lot of trophies, a lot of gear on the wall. But for me, light line has produced some of my biggest bass of my life, for sure. In tournament situations, my 7.96, that was with 30 minutes to go, and then for the win, a 5.5 and a nasty laydown, and it was an Ed rig, and I got us our first W together, which was cool. $4,000, $4,000 fish.
Hell yeah.
So Rick,
my leader was all ratted up, but I landed the bass. I let the rod do the work, man. Didn't panic. It's cool.
Rick, I got a question for you. So pretty much you have, whether it be a friendship or you pretty much know everybody in the industry as far as tackle manufacturers, things like that. What do you see as far as in the future here, next couple months? What are some big hitters coming out with some cool baits? What are some things you're hearing? Because you know everybody, pretty much.
There's a lot of cool baits coming out that I don't know if I'm going to get in big trouble if I talk about it. I've seen spinner baits with chatter blade with the blades from chatter baits on them that a couple companies are going to release next week. Or
that's pretty cool.
Is
it a JDM chatterbait that came out like that a couple years back? And a buzzbait, by the way.
Yeah. Seen both those. There's an old bait. Let's see if you guys can get this. So
I bet Eric can get it.
There was a bait that was popular in Texas. A little crankbait that was popular in Texas, and then Strike Pro.
The L-bill.
Little Bubba.
Yeah.
The
Bubba, yeah.
Yeah. There's someone's bringing that back next week.
Strike King.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm glad you said it, Alex Rudd. I didn't say.
Well, I mean, everybody knows that old. Travis? What's his name? He works for Strike King. He helped design the.
Oh, Steve Parks.
No, not Steve Parks. He helped design the pad perch and the popping perch and all that. Castle Don.
Yeah.
Castle Don's been promoting that thing on YouTube now for 6 months.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What else?
So there's some sneaky stuff.
Yeah, there's some sneaky stuff that's coming out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's gonna be some stupid shapes. You know, like Danny. There. You know, whether it's a weird animal.
I'm waiting on naked mole rat.
Right. We went through. We had ducks. We had bats.
I got the bat from Savage, and I'm gonna throw that damn thing, and I'm gonna catch a fish on it. I guarantee it for one. Because what is it? It resembles that. Was it the Pompadour? Pompadour, yeah. Pompadour.
Jackal.
Yeah, jackal.
Yeah, those bladed baits with the wing baits, those they're really popular in Japan. They've got lots of different.
Well, that bat,
$80 models.
The profile on that bat actually looks very, almost I want to say finessey, but it looks very natural to me. It looks better than the other ones that are out there. I have not thrown it yet because my fish just aren't looking up, but they will be.
So
here.
one time I was fly fishing on the Potomac River out in Western Maryland. And there was a nice little mayfly hatch going on. And a bat came down and ate my fly. And I have a bat hooked up on my
Come on, dude.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, now what? I wish I had a GoPro video with me at that point, man. This was a long time ago. Swear to God.
True story.
Swear to God.
How'd you get off the hook? What'd you do? What'd you do?
It's crazy.
Are you afraid of bats?
I started to reel them in, and there were a couple guys, they were trout fishing upriver, and they're like, what are you going to do with that? I think I might have just broke the line.
Wow, you would. You would.
Oh, there's no doubt, man. No, I'm not messing with a bat. No.
Messing no bat?
No, man. No, if I had Alex's shotgun, I'd have shot it.
Exactly.
Right here. Got her.
That's coronavirus patient zero right there. There he is.
Thank you. Could have been, but I didn't.
Shit.
Wiser. Yeah, could have turned into Dracula or something.
Exactly. All right, Eric, I got a question for you since you obviously are in the Japanese bait thing like I am.
Love the JDM market. Right on. Oh, you are? Okay, cool.
Do you follow a bunch of guys on Instagram that all their posts are in Japanese and you can't understand a damn word they're saying, but you're like zooming in like, what is that right there?
100%, man. Taking screenshots, trying to figure it out. I use the C translation. None of it makes sense. It's all about the big bus. They translate bass to bus all the time. It's crazy, man. I comment in English, and they'll comment back. It's funny. Some of them do.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've been. Oh, the videos, dude. I can't tell you how many times I've been laying in bed. My wife's like, what in the hell are you watching? I mean, it's some dude over here, just ripping it in Japanese, and I can't understand a word they're saying, but I'm laying there with a smile on my face like, I'm going to be importing one of those next week.
There's no question about it, man. I've had dialogues with people trying to find, baits and stuff, man. Oh, I've got to know a couple people over there that can actually, speak English, and gotten some gems over time. I got into bladed cranks a while back, the Imakatsu waddle bats, talking about bats. I mean, that thing just stroked them for me. I had that to myself for a long time.
That's badass, bro. I'm glad I'm not the only one that's got the weird obsession with it, dude. That's awesome.
No, I got it bad, man. The engineering on those baits is ridiculous. I mean, the way they come up to impart the hunting action on a crankbait, to see that thing come through the water for the first time and to cast it for the first time. I've told the story before, so I won't bore Travis because he's just going to go, I have to do
I get
this
it, bro. I was almost going to grab something off the shelf here I wanted to share with you guys, but I'm going to wait.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, but no, on the Potomac River, I was with my buddy Bob Cherry. We were fishing shallow wood. The fish were post-spawn. They were on it. And I had a waddle bats, and I'd never thrown it before. He had his favorite -1, proven, trusted, 25-year-old. The paint was wore off it. They choked that bait. I've seen him whip me on that bait before. I was throwing that waddle bats behind him. He's casting to the V in the log. He's getting all the prime lies. I'm in the back of the boat, and I brought that waddle bats through. Literally, I crushed him on that bait. And then I brought the big bats out on the second pass, caught a couple snakeheads and more bass. He caught zero. Then I took it to the upper bay. Post spawn again the next year with my buddy, and no one had bought this bait in my region. Nobody. And I was fishing with my buddy Johnny Ingram. We're in a tournament, and literally I was catching fry garters left and right. It was stupid. He couldn't get a bite on a -1. He couldn't. He dug through every shallow crankbait. He got zero until I gave him waddle bats. Because I'm like, dude, I got him. Take one. He goes, no, I'm going to stick with this. I'm catching one on the -1. I'm like, go ahead, man. I'm telling you, I've seen the show before. It's stupid. I've had that experience with Pete Gluzik. Same thing, a chatterbait. You probably know about it, but it was a hunting action chatterbait. The jackhammer for me kind of tracks straight. It has a little bit of hunting action, but this Japanese chatterbait,
all over the place.
The head, it literally cannot find center.
I bet I know which one you're talking about.
Don't say it.
I'm not going to.
A little quiet. Because the pros will dive down and get the last one.
I love the shape you made with your hand, because as soon as you made the shape, I was like, yes.
You know what I'm talking about, man, right?
Fruit juice. Yeah,
and they make different sizes that come into play on grass rivers for me that, some of the manufacturers have made in the past, but the hunting action is just, it just doesn't compare. And they're not always tuned into it. I'm not saying it outproduces a jackhammer or a Strike King or Pure Poison or the Cricket, but there is a time and a place for that tool. It's really cool, man. So that drives me to that JDM market, to find something that's the quest for me. I'm a gearhead when it comes to bass fishing. I love the mechanics of baits. I try to figure out, does it make a difference? And if it does, great. It's just a tool in the box, and I'm a hound when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's a quest for me to find something different.
I love that philosophy, dude. I'm the same exact way. Me and my buddy Ben have had some arguments before where he's like, dude, it doesn't matter that much. I'm like, no, bro, I really believe.
That's
yeah, dude.
It's good. It's a good debate. I like the debate. I like the debate because I want somebody to show me that, and believe me, there are some super talented fishermen. I fished with one. I've been really blessed to fish with just incredible fishermen on the rivers, and they stick with their guns and their knitting, and they have won just an incredible amount of money over the years, and that's what they do. But for me, the magic is finding something new. I think that's the cool part about MonsterBass and regional focus, and having people like you and Travis picking out baits that are selected for the water, and guys that would never consider throwing a bait that comes in the box to turn them on to something, whether it's the spider or the new box that Rick's putting together or you guys are putting together. That's cool, man. It's like the magic of opening that box, say, I want to try this, I want to read it, I want to watch your video, and I'm going to go do that. I've had people on Instagram, send me, I just caught my personal best on a balsa crankbait, fall flat side, and, channel swing next to wood. They never threw a flat side balsa bait, and they stroked their PB. A guy, I did turn him onto that chatterbait, and he goes, pressured lake, I caught my biggest personal bag. My buddy up front was throwing a jackhammer. He caught 1, I caught 7, and he caught a 25-pound bag. Those stories turn me on. That's what I'm about. I love that stuff.
Me too, man. Me too. You and me both. I love it. Yep.
It's a quest of mine for sure. So, and that's what I love about the show. We get to come on and debate, keep it simple or keep it complex, or you don't have to fill your tackle box, but pick one thing. If you've never thrown a balsa bait, go explore it.
I do.
You've never thrown a bladed jig. Go learn the bladed jig. You have to have that tool. You know what I mean?
And that's what
it doesn't
tools,
matter what
man.
one it is. Because there's a zillion ways to fish the bladed jig. Everybody thinks it's chunk and wine, but I've seen it down in Florida in our team championship. My buddy Jack Wrinkles, who Travis is going fishing with tomorrow, first day of practice, I'm chunking and wine and I'm snapping it out of the grass, and he's literally feathering it through the grass.
Yeah.
Fishing it like a jig, and he's stroking them.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, I wasn't thinking about that. And it was sunny and hot, but those fish had been pounded in practice, and they responded to that. And so that was a way to use the same bait, but differently, with a different retrieve, cadence, because it matters. Depth and speed and cadence. I'll add the third dimension, cadence. I've seen the cadence of a bait matter. For me, I don't know about anybody else, but those are my experiences. So anyway.
Right on, bro. Dude, I couldn't have said it better. You remind me of something. Right. Eric, I want to share this with you. I got a letter in the mail. I can't share it, but I will say this. This gentleman sent me a bait from the 70s. And I talked to you about it, but don't say anything. But that's one thing cool about that I love about this live is all the interaction with the fans. I know we have a lot of comments tonight that we're gonna not be able to keep up with, but I got something I'm really excited about, dude. And you're right. It's always cool getting new baits and trying new things. And
100%.
And yeah, this guy gave me a bait from the 70s, and I'm stoked to try it out.
So Alex, you're gonna love this, and Rick too. So my buddy and I, this is my first team partner, and I posted on my Instagram. We always dreamed about designing our own baits, and he's kind of an engineer. He's a jeweler by trade. Loved bass fishing, gearhead. Turned me on to Loomis rods way back in the day, and so we dreamt about a hook that would be totally weedless, but not in the way you think. But so he made this thing called the stiletto, and it was a hook that was the weight, and the hook was inside of it. So when you set it, the hook would pop out. It would ruin the worm, but we didn't care. A worm was cheap to us, 10 cents. And the first cast, he snagged it on the Potomac and lost the prototype.
No.
And then I dreamt about this bait company called Chameleon Bait Company. I'm like, why do I have a box of rattle traps with 50 different colors in the same size, or multiple sizes? I'm like, why can't I change colors on the fly? I wanted to do like a lure skin, like a snap-on. So if I had a clear bait, same kind of rattle trap, but I'd like snap on this skin that would be fire tighter. So he made like a version of it, man. It ran like crap, but I'm like, man, that's a good looking bait. Let's do this thing. All these dreams, right? So I got him fired up because we brought on Austin Neary, who's a big bait specialist. He turned me on to big baits. It's a kid that grew up in my neighborhood. He was a little bass head. Give him free lures and stuff like that. He fished the golf course ponds, but we fished some big bass tour events together. And my eyes were open to this big swim bait game. Gangcraft in particular, depths 250s, slow sinking. But we also fished a rat tournament because the fish were in post spawn. They were wolf packing on bluegills. I brought my Nizuma rat, and he was throwing a mountain specialty rat. And they were eating the Nizuma rat. I caught the winning fish in practice. Why was I throwing my rat with hooks? I have no clue. But anyway, my buddy said, I want to try to design a rat. So I'm thinking of all the things I liked about all the rats that I've thrown. He came up with a prototype. I went to a pond that I fished as a kid, and literally I called my shot, and I hooked a 4-pounder on it within 15 minutes of being at this pond, and then proceeded to catch 2 more. I'm down in Carolina. I'm going to a river with Scooter Lilly, my team partner down here, and I'm going to try to catch a double digit on this rat. That's the quest. A DD on this rat. It's a small size rat, but there are double digits where we're going. And do it on camera.
Hell yeah.
The rat.
Dude, I'm telling you, Eric, it's weird how similar we are, because I'm dude, like JDM, like gearhead, big baits. Yeah, I have a special place in my heart for big baits too. I've got several depths 250s.
Oh my gosh, my buddy Austin's begging me for this OG 250 slow sinking with it's a carp color. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yep. And I actually cast it off a OG carp on a lake near here. Dude, I almost went in for it, but I was in 75 foot of water. There wasn't no getting it back.
That's painful, dude. That's
painful. Dude. I mean, it was tack, and it just flew probably 50 yards.
Eric, so I'm not a big swim bait guy, but we had Austin Dream Catchers on a few weeks back, and it piqued my interest, we'll say. So I got a hold of him last week, Eric, and I took notes during the show, and I gave him my order, okay?
Nice.
And he gave me a discount, and here's the price.
I never forgot one.
You ready for this?
Talk to me.
$625, Broheem. I'm like, what did I just buy, dude?
Ooh.
And
what all did you get?
They came in the mail yesterday. I don't know, some big ass swim baits I'm gonna try to catch a fish on.
Some big ass swim.
Dude, I swear, like I don't even know, dude. A perch
You got
one.
the homicide glide.
I got a couple homicide glides. That big bluegill looking bait. Nobody knows.
You talking about the bullshad?
You know what? Fuck it. Let me show you. It's cool. Let's end the show. I'll show you the swim baits I got from them. Cool? You guys can give me your opinion.
Yeah.
All right, let me go grab them. They're right out here.
Yeah, we'll get our rocks off on the big baits.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So,
Tackle Craft's in the house, by the way. So I just asked him on the comments, is he up for the Bandit 300 color duplication challenge?
Heck yeah. Let's make it happen. Yeah, I'm all down. So the dude, what's the guy you guys had on last week? The Dreamcatchers guy. What's his name?
Austin Neary.
Austin, yeah. So he has piqued my interest as well.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you why. Because I am closer to some of those North Carolina lakes than I am to Lake Chickamauga.
What?
And I'll be honest, I didn't even know a lot of them existed until I got curious one day and just started driving.
What?
And so I don't really want to divulge, a tremendous amount, but I definitely am very interested in getting to some of those mountain lakes that are very, very hard to get to and tossing big baits and seeing what lives there. Because I've talked to some people who have told me, hey man, yeah, dude, we go up there and catch big ones. And I'm like, okay, what's a big one? And they're like, I don't know, I think I caught a smallmouth that was like 6.5. And I was like, oh, time out, what? And they're like, yeah, man, we were trout fishing and just ran into it. And I'm like, huh.
Southern Trout Eaters, I know you've watched that.
Yes.
That's what turned my head. Austin was playing baseball down at Western Carolina, got hurt in his freshman year. He's on scholarship, and he had pro scouts looking at him. And he got hurt in his freshman and sophomore year. They yanked his scholarship. The kid's down in the dumps, depressed, like wanting to jump off a bridge. And I'm like, dude, you love bass fishing more than baseball, straight up. Make it your profession. Just get after it. He started the bass club there at Western Carolina, became the president. Now he's a guy, and he runs a tackle shop with his parents, and he is a big bait freak. I showed him that video when he came home from college, and he literally was flipping out. He goes, I live 45 minutes to 30 minutes from these lakes where they filmed it. Mm-hmm. And he hooked up with this guy as a team partner that was a big bait guy too, and they just started throwing big baits.
Yeah, and dude, that was kind of, I saw that Southern Trout Eaters thing, and it piqued my interest. A little bit, and I was like, huh, that's really interesting. I was like, I live pretty far away from some of those lakes, whatever. And then I started hanging out with a buddy of mine. He's a good friend of mine now, Chris Sumrall. He is not anybody that anybody would know, but he's somebody that everybody should know if you live in this area and want to throw big baits. You know what I mean? And this dude is just approaches it with this almost samurai mindset. It is.
I love it.
It's his tools, man, and he has his tools, and he's very methodical. And I got to spend some time on the water with him, and he really showed me the power of the Depths 250.
It's crazy. The drawing power is just ridiculous.
I mean, and dude, after you see freaking 29-pounders come after that thing, you're like, wow,
it's unbelievable. You don't get a lot of bites, and that's the frustrating part of the game. But if you truly are in search of a double digit, I don't think there's any replacement for it.
No, there's not.
What about the Depths bull shooter?
That's the big bluegill bait. Let's see it. Show it, man.
It looks ridiculous. What am I supposed to do with that?
Dude, it's just a big bluegill
bait. I don't
bait.
know, dude. And then he sent me one of these.
big smallmouth eat swim bait.
I don't even know what that is. The Homicide Glide. Perch.
In perch?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't smallies love perch or hate perch?
I don't know, dude. We're going to find out.
I think they do. Don't they eat them?
I'm a big bait specialist now. I don't even know the name of this fucking thing. What is this bait, dude?
Do you have a rod to throw those?
Yeah. What is this? A triple trout?
It's a triple trout, man. He gave you the soft step tail too, man.
Yeah.
That's nice.
This is like a custom one. He's like, so let me ask you this, because I'm gonna throw it this weekend for like 3 casts. So, do I put a swivel or a loop knot, or what do I do here?
No, mate. Tie direct.
Just tie direct.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you can put a split ring on it, or do you have a big snap like a decoy egg snap number 5?
Yeah, as I said, decoy egg snaps
I
that I'd
don't know,
run on
dude.
there.
I mean, I have them, but I can't. Did he not send you any?
Yeah, he sent me a bunch of
No snaps. Big snaps.
I got a little care package with all this bullshit in there.
Yeah. Put a snap on that, bro.
Some split white rings and I don't know, dude.
I mean, I prefer a snap, but a split ring will work.
Did I really need this though? Do I really need to buy that?
Yeah, dude. That
For
is an
what?
epic bait. Dude,
what am I gonna do with this?
Travis,
I'm gonna throw it out. It's gonna get gobbled up in a bunch of grass and fucking lily pads and.
No, here's the problem with where you fish, Travis. Is first cast you'll have a pike eat that thing off. That's your problem.
Oh yeah.
True that.
That's the problem.
I mean, look at this fucking
See,
thing.
and after I started fishing lakes with muskies down here, I just put my big baits up on any lake that had muskies in them. I was like, screw that.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna throw this stupid bait out there. It's gonna go poof, splash, and then I'm gonna reel in real slow, and I'm gonna look over to my left. I'm gonna be like, holy fuck, there's a 6-pounder. I'm gonna pick up my little fucking Ned rig. I'm gonna toss it over to it, shake it once, and it's gonna go. And I'm gonna be like, why am I throwing this? I'm just, dude.
But
maybe,
when you catch the 8-pounder, maybe you'll understand.
Maybe I got the wrong mindset, but
that's a blueback herring color. You don't need that one. I'll trade you something for that. There's got to be a few things we can work out there.
Listen, I'm learning. I want to learn the big swim bait game.
No, you don't.
I will, dude. Give me a 2.8 Kitech on an 1/8-ounce head. I'll be good.
Set in his ways, isn't he? He's concrete, man.
He truly is concrete, man. But that's all right. Being true to himself. He's trying. He just spent $650.
Yeah.
He did. I love that. It's good effort.
It is.
It's good effort.
And I don't know where to put them. I just put them in a big Bass Mafia bag.
Dude, don't do that. Don't do that, man. If those tails get bent, that screws the bait up. You got to keep his tail straight. Get yourself a deep plano box, man. You got to keep the tail straight. But you can boil them in the hot water if they get kinked.
We'll deal with
Dude,
it.
Eric, if you use the I Surrenders bait pouch,
I love them.
That's bingo, son.
I keep them in the back of my 4Runner, man. They're extra long. They fit them, buddy. I'll put them in a big, deep plano box in the I Surrender. I'll stack them on top of each other. I might have one naked in there in between 2 baits, but yeah.
Hey, guys are saying that little comment about that wrong color you want to trade. They're like, oh, he wants in on that. Am I getting screwed here?
No, Taco Craft accepted the challenge, so we're good, man, Alex. We're good. He's going to paint you up one. We just have to get you his info. Yeah, man. He's stoked.
Shoot it over to me.
Man. That's right. That's
shit.
right.
Well, listen, guys. 10:50, almost 11. I know we go longer.
Yeah,
I got to go tuna fishing and try to get up to Lake Ontario in the next 48 hours. It's been fun.
You to want the tuna trip, man. I don't get it.
Dude, when Jack calls you, he's like, hey, he's like, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm like, well, I don't want to tell him. I'm like, fucking leaving for 3 months to go to Lake Ontario. You want to go tuna fishing? Let me call you back in 10.
Sure. I love it.
Why not, dude?
That's all. It makes some good video, man. That's good stuff.
We will.
Get excited when you catch a 40-pounder.
Okay.
And please have some sushi on the boat.
I'm not going to eat the fucker.
Claw. How's that going to work?
Yeah, you have to.
Got to.
Yes, man. Wasabi and soy, fresh tuna? Do you eat sushi?
I had some tonight, dude. I had sushi tonight.
They're going to do it on the boat. You know that.
Because I don't know if that's the same type of sushi.
What are you eating?
I don't know,
Where
dude.
Where do you think it comes from?
The same exact kind of sushi.
I'm just saying, bro.
What, you don't know if what you're eating is yellowfin?
I don't know, dude. Fine.
What have you been reading?
Well, I don't have rice out in the fucking boat, Eric. I can't make a little California roll, bro.
Rice, it's called sashimi.
And they're not going to have their non-gluten soy sauce with me? I mean, I'm screwed, bro. I'm screwed. Come on.
Non-gluten. You mean gluten-free soy sauce. Did you just really say that? Mm-hmm. You would not eat one piece of tuna with regular soy sauce because it has gluten in it?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Soy sauce ain't got gluten in it. It's made out of soybeans.
Wait a minute. You're gluten intolerant?
No, I just choose not to eat gluten.
Oh.
Yes.
Because?
This is where I put my face mask on.
Because gluten destroys the small villi in your lower intestines, which is their main job is to absorb your nutrients and vitamins. And so if you eat gluten, it's basically like a razor blade constantly on your small villi, and you're gonna die in your 60s of heart disease, cancer, whatever. True story.
So everybody out there, eat up your pretzels and live it up because you're dying at 60.
Yeah, I had an aunt that drank vodka every day and ate bacon and toast, and she lived to be 95. But okay, yeah, He's a real redneck. You can tell.
Come on, guys.
Yeah,
I can hang with him.
For sure.
Listen, Dirty Steve, come on.
Oh.
Bro. Some of my best friends are true rednecks, so.
That doesn't mean you
nobody's
are.
buying it.
They just accept you.
I've done a lot of redneckish things.
I'm just glad that everybody here can take a good ball busting and keep on going. Because if they couldn't, this is not the podcast.
That's a part of
the
this show. That's why I love this show. I love our viewers. I love the comments. I love getting some heat. I'll probably have a couple emails I got to respond to tomorrow if I get around to it.
Travis, that's when I see you the happiest. That's when you laugh the hardest. When
I know.
Somebody is cracking.
When I call Eric the next day and be like, you believe this fucking email I got from this chode?
Hold on. Wait a sec. Someone sent you an email?
Oh, dude.
Like a heated, Karen email?
I'm not going to say the person's name because I don't remember. I got an email last week. I'm not going to say it. Screw it.
But what was it about?
Me dragging my power poles in the tournament.
Oh. Yeah, that. Which is not a good plan from my perspective in a grass bed.
If I'm not going to go back over the spot and you got 40 boats behind you following your line, I'm going to drag my poles and stir up some shit.
Travis, you can only catch 17 pounds. You're now 17-pound Travis. Why are they following you, bro?
They should be. I've been sucking dick this year out there.
You might want to preserve that grass and circle back around on a different line, bro.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. What do you think, Rick? I can't believe there's still sunlight coming through the windows by you.
It's West Coast time, right?
I know, dude. Ain't that crazy?
It's 8 o'clock there.
I know, dude.
It gets dark at 8:30 on the East Coast, bro. What planet are you from?
I'm just saying. Well, actually, upstate New York, it will get light around 4:30 and stay dark until about 10:15.
That's crazy.
Once you get above the 86 parallel line. Almost to Canada. If only they let us go into their waters. Canadians can come here. Rick's like, screw it.
Rick straight out the bottle. He says, screw this, I'm done.
We're at this
I'm
point.
shit-faced.
We're at this point.
For the White Claw.
Black cherry's all you need to know, guys.
Black cherry, I thought it was...
It's always been black cherry, Eric.
Black cherry. Oh, yeah. That's right. Black cherry. Wrote it down.
All right, guys. So follow the I mean, what do we even start? Like, okay, make sure follow the Instagram tomorrow. Watch my tuna adventure. Maybe we'll have some sushi. I don't know. I'll think about it. Check out MonsterBass. Discount code is what? Discount 15?
Save 15.
Save 15.
Too many White Claws, Travis. Destroys the brain. Gluten-free or not, bro.
It's fine, dude. It's 11 o'clock at night, bro. Give me a break. I gotta get up in 2 hours.
I know.
Don't forget to subscribe to Alex's YouTube channel. Plug away,
Please.
bro. Thanks for coming on, anyways.
Yeah, awesome show, man.
It was good.
Fun time,
It was
man.
good.
Alex, enjoyed the bait talk, brother.
We'll have to.
Oh yeah, we'll have to do it
man.
again.
Let's circle
Thanks for
around
the
and
insights.
let's
Yeah,
really.
love to do
I think Eric really, that East Tennessee stuff, the crankbaits. I know when you went down there, Eric, after the classic, when you left me, I guess you stopped there, or no? Yeah, it was right around that time. Didn't you stop to a couple?
There was nothing really good, man.
Oh, really?
I didn't find any tackle shops that really had like great monster collection. The quest.
Because Eric
quest
tries to
continues.
find that little tackle store on the corner that nobody hears about. I had one up by my house not too long ago that had some crazy like old school baits in the back that, you know, we had a field day on it, but they're all sold out now. But those are the types of things you look for. And I know you went to a bunch of them in East Tennessee and you just kind of struck out, huh?
Yep, I did, man. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's going downhill around here as far as small shops, man. Bass Pro and Academy and Dick's and all that's just put everything out of business, dude. They can't
Really?
keep up
Oh,
and
man.
it sucks.
Yeah.
But-
I guess
Yeah,
eBay.
so I need to have you guys. We'll have you on a. I'm bringing the live streams back on Friday night, so I'll have everybody back on Friday night, and we'll get that thing ripping. And we'll have us a good time, and put it on a podcast, and do everything
yeah.
like that, and get this thing
Right
rolling
on.
again. So
Definitely,
Right on.
we'll do that. So I know, guys, this is Wednesday night. Normally we're Tuesdays, but Bass University decided to do their live on top of us, even though I fished with the guy last week. And Brian, I'm like, Brian, dude, Tuesdays is when we go live. He's like, yeah, I know, but we had to make a tough call, right, Eric? And I'm like, all right, dude, no, not a big deal. He was like, kind of like concerned. I'm like, don't even worry about it. But I know we get a lot of East Coast guys that watch Bass U and us. So I just wanted to move back to Wednesdays. I think we're going to keep it that way. I just don't want to. I love the guys at Bass U.
How am I going to do that? I got my Wednesday nighters, man. I got my Wednesday.
Dude, I
sleepers,
can't make
man, bro.
everybody happy. I'm trying to.
Well, I guess I'll see you at the end of the season, man.
No.
Have a great show.
So,
season.
Eric, next week I go to New York. Are you going to be Wednesday or no?
I can't do it, bro. I got my freakers, man.
I got-
made a commitment, man. I live for that.
I
It's
got
my home river. I got to post up.
I got Beast Coast Fishing coming on 2 Wednesdays from now already.
whoa, Derek's coming on.
Yes, I'm trying to get a schedule together.
Well, hey, when you have Derek on, tell him that I need to be on with him, and we can discuss a little project that him and I have going on.
Yeah, you guys will be great. And you can talk about your smallmouth jig, too.
Well, Derek and I have a project too we're trying to work on.
Well,
I have
well
one.
hold on just a
Has
second.
Derek been
I got one with Derek, too, Travis. I didn't tell you.
Derek's been dropping the ball though with my project.
Oh yeah, no, my
Travis,
my project's full bore here.
Oh
son.
shit.
Oh, ouch. That hurts.
I see how it is, Derek. We're gonna have that discussion. No, Eric, for real. You can't do Wednesdays?
It's my Wednesday night. No. I'm fishing Wednesday nights, man. I live for the Wednesday threefers, man.
All right.
That's my jam.
We had a pretty good crowd. We had almost 400. By tomorrow, we'll have about 3,000 views.
Heck yeah.
In the comments, guys, let me know. Eric, I went through this with you last week. What's the best night to do this?
It's Thursday, apparently.
Thursday nights?
I think it is.
Can we go to Thursday night, guys?
I mean, do people care?
Yeah.
There's no bars to go to in most of the states, right?
Bass University fans care. Stray Casts care. They're
Well,
Wednesday
they're on
nights.
Wednesdays. You're stepping on Stray Cast on Wednesdays and Bass U on Tuesday. So that really is a Thursday or Monday.
Thursdays.
Sounds like a Thursday.
Oh, this sucks.
It does. It's
So
only
next
5
week,
to 7.
next week Thursday, I will be at my house up in New York. Eric and I are just going to catch up. We're going to talk fishing. I'm going to see if I have good internet connection. And then the following Thursday, Derek from Beast Coast. Maybe Alex will join us and talk about our projects. And
I'll text you. I'll text you some pictures of the project after we get off here.
Ooh, nice.
They got some good stuff, man. I threw their swim bait a little bit down in Wheeler. Or wait, what was that, Eric?
Wheeler.
Fuck, was it Wheeler?
It was.
Wilson.
Wilson too.
Yeah, we were on Wilson. And
you talking about True Bass?
No. Beast Coast.
Miyagi.
Yes. That thing is special, dude.
Miyagi.
Remember, I was like, holy shit, that thing looks pretty cool. And then a big sheephead bit it, or drum, whatever you call it down south.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dang, man.
They got some good stuff. But after that, we have Nico's going to join us. They got the tadpole. Nico Baits.
Oh, Nico Baits.
Yes. We got a bunch of people lined up.
Oh, what do you
think? Pretty good. They got a nice minnow too, man.
What you got, Rick?
I got those here. They sent me a prototype of some new bait.
Uh-oh.
But, those are like $15 a pack for soft plastics.
What?
I know, dude. They're expensive.
What? Yeah, dude. They're 15. I got them, like, literally right here.
I don't want to talk about the bait. I'm going to make a video on one of their baits that they make, which blew my mind. And guys that follow the live stream, I did show it here.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it, but what do you got? You
want
to show it? You can't show it yet?
No, I can show it. I just got to find it. It's in the bag here somewhere. It's in this box, but, like, if I'm going to put it in the box, what I'm going to send? I'm going to send everybody one?
No.
Right. Where are those damn things? It's got legitimate JDM packaging and everything. I don't know where it is. But have you seen their little craws?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex, people are asking to make a hair jig out of your beard, dude. And I can tie that.
Let's do it.
I'm all in.
I'm down.
I like that. That's a good
Get
idea.
a little bit from right down here and just tie her up.
I need two colors, man. I need some of that tan stuff and some of that darker red.
Let's make it happen.
I'm going to make a prediction. Alex, I don't want to offend you, but I know you're kind of a redneck. Obviously, you stated the fact
No. You just said kind of. Which just shows you don't know what you're talking about.
But you probably got tricked.
Who's straight up, bro?
You got tricked probably into buying some of that Instagram lotion and potion for your beard, right?
Like
you do something.
Beard product?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, bro. I use beard product. Yeah.
All right. There you go, man. A real redneck wouldn't do that. They'd be like, fuck this. I'm growing my beard out like this, and this is how I do it. No?
No.
Are you actually trying to, like, get on his redneckness?
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying to get something here.
I mean, like, I could get some, like, beaver castor oil and just rub it in there, and just stink all to hell. I just don't think my principal would like that very much. I mean, I could do it, though. Hey, how y'all doing? Yeah, I know I smell like beaver piss. I don't give it. Here I am.
Waves and Current says your beard is epic, like somebody's about to hand you the 10 Commandments, man. You are the Moses of fishing.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I can dig with that. I can be down with that.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, guys. Well, let's end this thing. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. Thanks, Rick, Alex, Eric, everybody tonight. It was fun. Got a little crazy. We learned a lot tonight. That's what's so great about these shows. Unpredictable.
Love it.
Rick, you'll be back, right?
I'm back.
He's back.
That was cool to get Rick back. We
Alex,
lost him for a minute.
Yeah.
Dude, anytime.
Once he dumped that White Claw out, people got concerned, and he just disappeared, and we thought he was puking.
We thought we lost him, man. We thought you killed him.
Wrong flavor.
I think everybody was thanking me.
It's White Claw syndrome.
That's right. All right, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave any likes and comments below. And as always, until next time,
we'll see you on the water.
On the water.